You are listening to the Hello Sport Podcast.
All right, well, welcome to another best of. Happy New Year to the punter and the dribbler. Welcome back to your home of unqualified opinion and unwavering bias. 2023, I'm hearing it on good authority that it's officially been declared the year of the punter and the dribbler. Now, some say, is this the third straight year? And I go, yeah, well, it's fucking happened with La Nina, so I don't know why you think that, can't happen with the punter and the dribbler. So for the third straight year, the year of the punter and the dribbler this year, it's it's an exciting time, but this is an exciting time of year, A lot of unknowns. What's going to happen? People setting goals. What am I going to be? Am I going to have a six-pack by the end of the year? Potentially. It's very much likely. So, with that in mind, I'd just like to officially cut the metaphorical ribbon on the year of the punter and the dribbler, but also welcome in my good, dear friend Edward Simpson all the way from Mossman.
Thank you for that, Tom. Very indulgent to start the year from you, mate, but I think we all expected it. Lovely to be here with the punter and the dribbler in 2023. Also the year of the punter and the dribbler.
And we're back. What were you saying, Edward?
I would say it was the year of the punter and the dribbler, Tom. I would like to make special mention to the fact that even though it's another year around the sun for all of us, another year wiser for Tom, you could argue, the kid still struggles with technology. It'll always be his Achilles heel.
Well, yes and no. I think my morning, and this is a best of, we will get to the best of shortly, but obviously Eddie and I like to come in and just, piss on our domain a little bit, mark our territory. It's been just one of those mornings, dude, it's been a great morning. I'm grateful. I'm here and I'm a grateful man.
Are you grateful?
It's a beautiful sunny day. I nipped down to Bondi. I'm living the island life. I'm down there, swim in the water, cleanse the soul. But before I got down to the beach, the reason that sort of led me to be a little bit frantic with my technological setup this morning. And before I get into that, some of you could say, well, hey, why don't you just not go to the beach and get a fucking head start on the whole thing? But instead you wanted to go and indulge yourself in some cool, refreshing ocean water, and then you come up and you're behind the 8 ball and you're fucking, now we know this, someone's got to take a shit. The cat gets in a fight. So, look, I get it. I have my own shortcomings, which is what 2023 is about. It's about working on them. But this morning, I wake up after being horrifically sunburned yesterday. My body is as pink as a prawn.
You burn quick too. You're very pale. Some have remarked you as translucent.
Yeah, well, not now, bruh. Now I'm as red as an English cricket fan in the hot Australian sun.
Yeah.
But so I got burnt to shit.
The name Thomas
and
Birmingham's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. I got burnt to shit yesterday. I feel silly, aloe vera, moisturizer, et al. Mainly on the torso here, on the the solar
on the
panels.
engine room.
Yeah, on the engine room. The gullet. Is that a gut? I don't know.
Is it a gullet your throat?
But,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it might be.
Like I always thought that pelicans had big gullets.
They do. I think that's how they used to carry. That's how babies are made, right? They carry around fucking.
Well, that was a stork, wasn't it? As opposed to a pelican.
Oh, is that a potato situation?
Well, I don't know if are storks pelicans? Now you've got me in a fucking pretzel. I don't know.
It was this early on in the year. You can be forgiven for being in a pelican-based pretzel. That aside, I'm sunburnt. I wake up. I had a pretty good sleep, but maybe I slept too much. I don't.
You can
know.
oversleep,
maybe
Tom.
It's the fact that my skin's melting off my body. I look like fucking that old grandma in Dante's Peak. Shout out to anyone who knows that reference. I get up and Louis gets into one of the great punch-ons with the cat next door this morning. Also called Louis, funnily enough. But he's a bit older, a bit more wise, a bit more wily. Now, I saw them, talking shit to each other through the fly screen. And I thought, look, this is cool. Maybe this is a way to get them to know each other. And before they become friends. Steph decides to open the fucking door. And they just get stuck into each other, dude. Beating the fuck out of each other, biting each other's faces, clawing each other's faces, like fucking each other up. Steph's like screaming at me from the other room. I come outside to have to like break up a cat biff, which I was already a little bit like, I don't want to get fucking bitten here.
Can I ask, how was
I managed to.
How was your boy throwing them?
No, go on. Listen, by the time I got there, they were locked. Like fucking in a grappling match. So I didn't get it. Let me put it this way. I'll say it. I don't want to talk ill of Louis, but by the time I arrived, it looked like he was not winning. And I was a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, fuck. As I was walking down the hall, I was hoping to see a different scene, but it was older Louis' fucking claws firmly embedded in my Louis' face.
Yeah.
Louis then proceeded to come inside after I broke up the fight and walked blood all through the house.
Is this a vet situation? Or you just play your own, you play cut man at home?
I'm a cut man.
Yeah. You're a cut man for your own cat.
Dude, I'm cut man for Louis, and you know, I'm also going to be like one of those dads who sends him back out there. It's like, don't be a pussy. You got to fucking win the next
It sounds
one.
like he needs a fucking rev up to me. Maybe like a Leon Edwards going into the fifth sort of situation. Is that potentially where we're at?
Maybe I even play him that. I might need to just get him to watch that fight.
You got to pull it out of the fire.
Yeah, I think that's what might need to happen because and look, Steph didn't want to sell him out. She saw most of it, but I get the feeling he got fucked up.
Well, listen, I mean, old cats, mate. They've been around the block. They've earned their stripes against possums, which is the plumber equivalent in the cat world.
Yeah.
So I think Louis from next door comes into that fight steeled and ready. So your boy's going to have to find something from deep within because it sounds like he's going up against a wily old operator.
And maybe like Louis from next door's, he's lost battles before, but that's why he wins battles today. Because of battles lost yesterday.
Mate, you got to fail if you want to be a champion. I mean, Michael Jordan missed over 4,000 shots in his career, something like that, Tom. 6,000. I can't call. I mean, on multiple occasions he was entrusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. But that's why he succeeds, you know.
That's why he hits so many because he missed so many.
Right.
So you know, look, it's not all doom and gloom at the Birmingham household for Louis Birmingham. Obviously, he's licking his wounds, literally, and we're all a little bit disappointed in him. But I'm walking around the house clearing blood. Back to me. Back to why I'm fucking late. Clearing blood all over the place. As I am bent down from the waist, poor technique, wiping the floor, I then come up too quickly.
Back's gone.
And I crack my eye onto a clothes horse, the corner of a clothes horse, so hard that I actually draw blood. And I am bleeding underneath my left eye. Now, is it more of a graze? Sure. But it was confronting. And it stings.
So you need your own cut man now. So the cut man needs a cut man.
I do. Which, I mean, it does not augur well for Louis' preparation for his next fight. Like, I'm all at sea here.
Oh, my God. That's life in the fast lane over there, mate. That's life in the fast lane. That's real dad shit, you know? Breaking up your son, having a blue, cleaning up fucking blood.
With the kid next door.
Damaged yourself. Mate, tale of two cities. As always, mate. Tale of two cities for you and I. I woke up at 7, thought I'm going to get a start on the day. Knew that we had to record at 8:30. Yeah, that's right, punters and dribblers. 8:30 on a public holiday on the 2nd of January. No quitting the kid.
Yeah, Tobler really going the big lift.
No quitting any of us, Tobler included. Obviously, Dior not included in that.
No.
I thought I'd get a start on the day because I want to be here prepared. Went out, had a beautiful walk, had a big Godfather from the Cali press, that like sort of peanut buttery sort of delicious fucking smoothie. Really perked me up.
Yeah. Did that fill you up though?
It perked me up, Tom, and it filled me up. It perked me up and it filled me up. Filled me up. Sat down. Obviously, me and technology, best mates. Plugs in, seamless, ready to fucking roll. Everything's charged. Everything's just chef's kiss. You know what I mean? I'll nip down to the beach later on. I will take an umbrella because I know that the sundown in Australia is to be respected. But also, I've got olive skin I can play to. You know what I mean? Like me and the sun are better mates than you two are. So I can play olive skin, and I can play it pretty well.
Yeah, you can.
So I'll come up sun kissed, but I won't come up burnt, Tom. I'll come up kissed, sure. I'll sit down. I'll have a beautiful lunch.
You'll come up smooched.
I'll come up smooch. I might have a
sun smooched.
I'll put the air conditioner on. I might have a nap on the couch, and then I might have a couple of blokes. I don't know. World's my oyster, is what I'm saying.
I'd say I'm less sun-kissed and like the sun fucking bent me over and ate my ass.
Well, but listen,
I
hey,
didn't want it to.
There's nothing wrong with a good ass licking.
No, God, no. But like, I mean, if you want one, I wasn't feeling like one. That's all. But also, speaking of umbrellas that you're going to use, and this is not an ad, but we were sent them for free, so take that as you will. I feel no obligation to shout them out, but I'm going to, because cool cabanas, dude, they're cool. And they work a fucking treat. I mean, obviously not looking at my body, but generally speaking.
Listen, I think you need to admit that you were outside the cool cabana. You know, that's why you got burnt.
That's absolutely it. I was standing outside it because I'm a fucking idiot.
Mate,
But they extend your ability to stay at the beach by like 2 hours. You got little babies, you're there for like 20 minutes, you don't want to fry like dad, but I was there fucking all
Perfect
day.
for young families. Perfect for young families. I actually gave mine away to a young family because I'm that sort of guy, you know? Just a fucking, just a stand-up gentleman. Quickly, mate, how was your New Year's before we get to this best of?
Yeah, mate, my New Year's was good. Well, to be honest, didn't have fucking any plans. And then friend of the show, Hamish Street, and his beautiful family, Carly and Rosie, they also were at a loose end. So they just came around and we pumped cigars and rosé and tequila and just hung out.
That sounds lovely. That sounds wonderful.
You left me a voice message that I think told me all I needed to know about your evening.
Large, really large. Mate, went to Manly, went to Hugo's for lunch, which was beautiful. Came back, walked the pooch for a bit, had a couple of rosés, and then went to this very decadent house party in Point Piper. There would have been fucking...
Good old
days. There would have been 500 people there, probably. It was...
Seeing that, like, some of the footage reminds me of the, like, high school days when you'd get some, monster house party for New Year's that you'd managed to get along to.
Yeah. Shout out to Louis Collins, the master of the list, for getting us on there.
Fuck, I didn't hear from Louis.
Yeah,
wow.
Louis was there.
I didn't hear from Louis to say like, hey, I'll get you. Do you want to come to a party? I know he
I
probably,
think he just puts you in a different sort of box.
Yeah, which is offensive.
Well, it's not offensive, Tom. It's realistic. It's accurate.
It's certainly realistic, but it's offensive.
But so that was nice. It was a nice evening, big day. Like they had fucking there's like a nightclub in the house and shit, you know? Just very, very over the top. There's zebras on the wall and shit. Like just different.
Yeah.
Front and center view.
Whose house was it? Do you know who it was?
No idea. Absolutely no idea.
Oh, that's nice.
I went because it's a mansion in Point Piper having a huge house party with like unobstructed views of the Harbour Bridge. That's why you go, Tom. But then pleasantly surprised that when I get there, open bar, and there's like fucking DJs outside, there's DJs inside. Like it was on for young and old. It was on for young and old.
What time did you call up? What time did you finish up?
What time? Probably like 1:30, 2, something like that.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, something like that.
That's
Walked home, not too bad.
You walked home?
Yeah, because I was like, fuck, I wonder how fucking far that walk is. It's 40 minutes. I looked it up before we left, and I'm like, there's no way we'll get an Uber later on. Just zero chance. You just sack up and get it done. Put it in an Agalo's order. It came like 2.5 hours later at 4:30 in the morning, which I got up and ate. Beautiful way to start the year. Starting it on the front foot, I think, Tom. Exercise, like you got to earn your regalos is probably my 2023 mantra. Earn your regalos.
Earn your regalo.
And I earned it by walking home 40 minutes. that allowed me the luxury to get up at an ungodly hour and take myself downstairs with Tonka and we got into it. We went chip for chip. We went chip for chip, and I ate that cold burger. It was delicious.
Were you still awake?
No.
Or did you literally like set an alarm to wake up?
No. Because like it was just, I'm just going, no one's going to accept this order. I'll just leave it. Like it's not getting accepted by anyone. And then I just heard the front gate open, and I was like, I think your Regalo's is here, and I'm like, I think it might be. And I'm not going to leave good, honest Gallo's on the fucking front porch, Tom. No way. I'm not built that way.
No, mate. Well, but also, that's not what 2023 is about.
No, it's not. 2023 is not about
manning up.
It's about manning up. It's about getting up and manning up. If you have committed to something,
responsibility.
Well, if you've committed to something, Tom, if you've made a commitment, I'd made a commitment to a Gallo's and to Uber Eats and to that delivery driver, that I'd get up and I'd meet him at the door. And that's what I did. I made a commitment to myself that I was going to enjoy that at Gallo's. That's what I did. And like I said earlier, I'd earned it. So I was well within my right to get up and fucking pound it at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah, you bloody were. Yeah, you were.
But I was full to the brim, Tom. Know that. Full to the brim.
And then how were you yesterday?
Sore and sorry. Had a swim downstairs. Fucking laid on the couch. Fucking pounded Netflix into the earth. Went to bed early. Living. Got a pizza.
Oh, fuck yeah, buddy. That's good stuff. Well, look, there's a lot of things coming in 2023 for you and I, for the punter and the dribbler. Right. We won't reveal all now.
We won't reveal.
It would seem silly to do so.
Won't reveal any of it.
Fucking no, you'll just know. But it's a very exciting time of the year because your dreams haven't been crushed yet and you haven't reneged on all of your commitments or you change your waysy sort of shit. Now, I don't have any really. I think we've got like HSP goals, but I don't have personal goals. I don't know if I could be fucked, really. They're probably all tied together. Have you got any goals, buddy?
We've got goals. We've got a goal.
We've all
got a personal goal, but it's sort of a work goal too.
Well, we've got it's a personal goal tied into a work goal, and we still need to sit down.
Yeah, so I can't
really
tell the punter and the dribbler what that's going to be.
No, we can't. But we need to sit down and discuss with the relevant parties.
I think we've got a work goal that we can probably share. It involves a certain ancient rivalry, arguably the oldest in the world, between two old foes that's occurring somewhere in the northern hemisphere, like June, July. We want to go to that. That's a goal.
Yeah, our goal is to go to that.
That's a goal.
So we should release our New Year's goals, and it's just get KO to send us to England for the Ashes.
It's a lofty goal, but I think realistic if we all collectively put our minds to it, and that involves a punter and the dribbler.
Yeah. Well, it does, yeah.
Because you got to consider. Think about this: if you're a punter or a dribbler, and we go to the Ashes, you're sort of going to the Ashes as well.
Technically, not literally, but
not literally, but technically, you're going. And I reckon I speak for all punters and dribblers to say that it would be a bucket list item if you haven't gone to go to the Ashes. So if we go, you go.
Well, so it'll be a bucket list for them as well. Send us to the Ashes.
Yep, that's yeah. So if
I think that works nicely.
So it's the New Year's resolution of the punter and the dribbler for us to go.
Yeah. I just thought it was probably worth mentioning as well that when we do talk cricket, it is brought to you by KO. They're our really good friends.
We love KO.
And if they can send us to the Ashes, I mean, well, fuck.
Third and final test, Tom, Wednesday. You and I will be there with bells on, as they say. Mm-hmm. Looking at that forecast, not loving it for Wednesday.
Oh, really?
Not loving it for Wednesday.
I was at the cafe this morning and some woman just walked past me having a chat to a BF, and she was very chipper going, oh, it's sunny all day this week. Wait, every day this week.
Right. Well, I'm seeing I am seeing, and this is live, Tom. 40% chance of rain on Wednesday. It's the rain and cloud emoji. It's not the It's not a sun emoji. So,
40%'s a fucking high chance.
Mate, I won't bring the brolly for less than 80%. That's a fact. Won't bring the brolly for less than 80%.
Yeah, well, you're the one to talk to about that. Not because you're a farmer.
Put it this way.
Got some steadfast beliefs.
Put it this way, Tom. We'll get cricket on Wednesday. We'll get cricket. Know that. And given that we'll be getting cricket on Wednesday in some capacity, there's only one place to watch it, and that's on KO. Simple as that.
Unless you're going to be at the game, which we will be.
But you know what else you can do, Tom? You can watch the cricket on KO at the cricket if you want to replay.
I've also done that when you're just in the bar area sinking. Let's just get it on the phone.
Because you and I like to stand at the bar and sink. Always have. And probably always will.
Now, shout out to KO, pump for the cricket. Eddie, one more thing before we get into this best of, because this intro, as expected, indulgent. But I feel like I want to hear what your thoughts are about it, because by the time we get a chance to sit down again, face to face, hand in hand, arm in arm, so quick is the fucking news cycle that it'll probably be forgotten about. Reece Walsh and David Fafita getting in a punch on at a Gold Coast bar.
Love it. I love it. I think it's rugby league. It's what you and I basically fucking get out of bed for. Is a rugby league scandal that doesn't affect anyone else. It's just
David Fafita and Reece Walsh, though, they're becoming real staples of the off season.
Yeah, this is not their first infraction. Is that the word, Tom?
No. Well, it's not their first contribution to the off season as shows. As protagonists.
I'll tell you this. I will say this though. If I'm the Broncos, if I'm a fan of the Broncos, I'm fucking pumped up by this because I'm like, oh, Reece has got that dog in him, bruh. Because David Fafita's he's a big boy. David's fucking huge. And Reece is what?
They had to be separated.
Reece is not big. I'm seeing that going fucking oath, Reece. Reece is here to he's not going to back down from nobody.
And do you think then if you are the Gold Coast Titans or even Ricky Stewart, who's just trying his hardest to get David Fafita, are you a little bit concerned? You're like, oh, he couldn't even handle a bloody diminutive little fullback.
Well, have you heard of has there been a result released? What do the judges' scorecards say?
No, I haven't seen any scorecards. Yeah, I haven't seen scorecards.
So I'm not going to go. I'm not going to jump to that conclusion because.
But I guess what I'm saying is that if Reece wasn't carried out on a stretcher, then David hasn't done his job.
You could certainly look at it that way. You could certainly look at it.
And I'm glad he wasn't carried out on a stretcher. I don't want injuries, but you know what I'm saying.
But having not been there again, was David showing some level of restraint given his record. Given his past,
the big dog, little dog situation.
Given his past record of littered with infractions, maybe he's of the belief that if I fucking bury this cunt here right now and he gets stretched out, how does that look optically for me?
Yes, it's a good point. Should I just keep my powder dry, as it were? Because if I am to feed an up-and-coming rugby league player who's just had a triumphant return to the Brisbane Broncos, palpable anticipation in the air for what this kid could do if I was to go and cave in his, whatever that
temple
bone is there. Well, temple, but there's some sort of orbital bone. If I was to go and crunch his orbital bone at a Gold Coast nightclub, whilst, yes, it would sell papers, whilst, yes, it would promote season 2023, how does it look for me personally?
So without...
As my third major off-season
Exactly.
infraction.
And, I mean, 3 strikes you're out, as they say in the old lingo, Tom.
Well, they say that in other sports, and they don't say it in rugby league. 3 strikes and it's oi. We're up.
Listen, 3 strikes and you get an oi. And maybe you didn't want an oi.
Yeah.
Maybe you didn't want an oi. So, again, having not seen the judges' scorecards, can't really fucking say for sure. What I do know is, though, what a perfect way to get cracking. 2023's here. As if you thought for a moment that rugby league wasn't still the most scallywag sport on the planet, think again, bruh. Think again.
Yeah.
Just when we needed it. A little brouhaha between the boys. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Just a little lull.
In terms of the eye test, Tom, if I'm just eye testing this thing, I think Reece gets the chockies here just because he's going up to the big dog going, fuck you, bruh. I don't give a shit.
Have a go. I'll crack. You want me to punch on?
I'll punch on, though. I'll punch on. I like that.
Yeah, I've come out of this respecting Reece.
Oh, big time. Big time. Big time. Because he'd be 5'10"?
Probably. But then again, you know what? Like, you see rugby league players that are small, and then you see them in person, and you go, oh, okay, they're fucking big. They're just not as big as David Fafita.
Who's huge.
Who's a fucking
absolutely
weapon.
Enormous. Rugby league, baby.
Rugby league, I can't wait to see how it unfolds from here on in. There's some other curious stuff going on, but I think it's too granular and dense. We'd need Dave here with his ability to do the articles and shit. We'll get to that later on. Should we get into the best of, Eddie?
Let's get into the best of, baby. Happy New Year.
So Tobler, I believe, who is sitting here, it's from if you want to talk indulgence, us having 4, however many best ofs we have, but we're just breaking it up over best of January to March, best of fucking whatever it is, April, May, June. I think that's what this is though, Tobler, is that?
Yeah, there's just too many yarns. So we've got best of April till June, and there are some fan favourites featured in this one. So, strap in.
Love it.
Fucking oath.
Thank you, Tobler.
All right. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, boys.
Love you all.
Bye.
Elephants in the room, and as it pertains to Volkanovski himself. Look, a video dropped.
Look, some eagle-eyed punters and dribblers, and they are eagle-eyed, so credit to them.
Eyes of an eagle.
Have watched our YouTube clip, video with Volkanovski. They're calling it the greatest interview of all time. It's hard to argue with them on that. But some eagle-eyed punters and dribblers noticed at the end of the video, Thomas, who spent 40 minutes yesterday on the Bloke Pod talking about how cool under pressure he was around a champion, has played what some are calling the greatest shocker of all time.
Yeah, one of the worst moments of my life.
And one, funnily enough, that you didn't talk to me about afterwards, even though you admitted last night it played on your mind all day.
So the reason, and for those of you watching this or listening to it, the video is going to exist right now in our YouTube. So you can watch it there, or you can watch it on the Punters and Dribblers page, or just watch the Volkanovski interview. When it happened, so I, as the, introer and outroer of shows and shit like that, I'm constantly thinking about when to wrap it. Well, not constantly thinking about it, but I have to be aware of when to wrap it up. How are we doing this? Plus, we were doing it in conjunction with UFC and KO, and we'd had a certain window to operate in. So when you see this handshake go down, which is completely out of context, mid-conversation, and the conversation continues right after the handshake, so it's completely random.
But more than anything, it's random to Volk, who does not expect it. And I think is 50-50 whether he extends his hand.
Yeah, well, because
he debates internally whether I should brush this cunt and just keep going.
Listen, the reason why I was doing it was we'd already done the interview. They'd wrapped us up for the interview, and then we just were getting choked out, and then we were getting wrapped up from the choked out. So I was trying to wrap this thing up, and as I've gone to shake his hand, he's almost started telling another story, or I realize he's in a story, and I'm like, well, fuck. So I've shaken his hand, pulled my hand
but
back, and then the fucking yarn just continues. I'm
why
like,
did
oh
you
my
think
God.
that was wrap-up time?
I knew we had to wrap it up, so I was trying to wrap it up. I wasn't like, oh, this is this. I was trying to wrap it up because I knew we had to.
Yeah, but it's just such a weird place.
It was a horrible and then after it happened, in my head, and you can sort of see, I'm sort of go, oh, shit. And I sort of fold my arms or something. But it continued. And in my mind, look, I have an ability to that we do a lot of shit talking, so things escape my mind a lot. I thought about it in that moment, it was like I was screaming inside my head, like, fuck, that was bad.
See, I didn't notice, I don't think.
No.
And then I would have liked a play-by-play afterwards as to how you were feeling. I can't believe you bottled this for so long.
Well, I forgot about it. And then when you sent me the thing yesterday going, this might be one of the funniest things I've ever seen, I'm like, what? And when one of us sends each other something from the Punters and Dribblers page, there's like a moment of like, oh, what is it? Is it going to be like something great that someone's put in that has nothing to do with me? Oh, great. It's me boxing on fucking Clovelly Beach. Or it's me throwing out a completely out of context handshake with Volkanovski, and the conversation continues, and I'm just standing there looking very self-conscious.
I'd like to read a comment.
Well, I wanted to get Dave to take us through something.
But this is my favourite one.
Okay, all right.
This is by Joe Sampson.
Because so who put it up on the Punters and Dribblers page? Liam Brennan?
Liam Brennan.
Yeah. And it went gangbusters, and the comments section is fucking hilarious.
But I must read my favourite. This had me in fucking literal tears. You know when you cry, you laugh so much you start crying? This was me yesterday in the car.
Was me as well.
Joe Sampson, going from an arms-folded setup straight into a mid-conversation shake while your mate is rocking a little teapot pose, can say with a hand on heart, never come across it. Not sure I ever want to again. Good luck, Volk.
That's the exact one I screenshotted as well. It was so good. And there was some where they're like, if Volk loses, it's my fault.
My God, bro.
Can you read a couple, D? I can't see them from here. My eyes aren't what they used to be.
Had you forgotten about this when you were talking and promoting coolness under pressure yesterday?
100% forgotten about it. Completely forgotten about it.
Because you went on and on about how cool and calm you were.
I didn't go on and on and on. We were fun, but it did unfortunately precede this video's release. I was talking shit about being cool, which couldn't be further from the truth.
No.
And I mean, I am generally not a cool person, but this is probably the least cool thing maybe I've ever done. I'm trying to think of anything where I've been less cool, and there's probably is something else where I've been like super uncool, but this one,
it's pretty up there, mate.
and especially because we're with such an alpha who's like physical.
Cutting off a champion of the world mid-yarn for a handshake is so brazen. It's so uncouth.
It's so uncool.
Because he's also talking about how he would never tap. He's talking about how cool he is.
Yeah.
He's like, I'd rather go to sleep than
Is that
tap.
what he's talking about in this video? Because when I've been watching
you cut him off as he's explaining that he would never tap.
But it's also almost like you're.
I couldn't listen to the audio. It made me too uncomfortable. Like,
haven't listened to it?
I've just been watching it. I showed Steph and she was like,
look, would you ever tap? Nah, I love it.
They've got the...
Yeah, and it's almost like you're congratulating him for saying he'd never tap.
Yeah, maybe. Is that more what it is?
Yeah.
No,
I reckon it is.
I reckon you're congratulating him.
I think you are.
No!
I think you're congratulating him.
Stop shaking his hand, you fucking idiot. Put your...
And
then you're like,
whoa. We're still going.
Whoa.
You can see as you fold your arms, you're just trying to squeeze your own body out of existence and like get yourself out of the way.
I just want to cuddle myself away from this entire thing. I wonder if we'll lose sponsors for how lame we looked.
It's
well,
special.
I looked at.
I don't look great.
No, you don't.
No, I don't. I look like a teapot. When you pointed out, I'm like, I do look like a teapot.
You do look like a little teapot. Someone
short
said
and
rocking the fucking teapot.
Here's my handle. Here is my spout.
Yeah.
Someone says here, real Mossman stance on Eddie.
Yeah, well, fuck.
Sure.
Fair.
It's not bad.
But, it's not about me.
No, well, look, I'm glad that you weren't looking cool either, though. You know what I mean?
Well, you didn't look cool.
To go from the highs of trolling Volk with a fake choke out, where I'm like, well, we nailed that, to then, what a fall from grace.
Well, it's highs and it's lows.
Yeah.
Crushing defeats and soaring highs.
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is. Yeah, look, one of the tougher experiences to go through.
That's good stuff.
But you know what, dude? You know what? It's also why I love the punters and dribblers, because fucking no one escapes. No one escapes. Everyone's up for a roasting, and you got to cop it, and you got to cop it sweet.
They keep you accountable.
Fucking oath they do. They keep you accountable. Mate, you can't go and throw out of context mid-combo handshakes at anyone, let alone a world champion. I deserve to be pizzled for that.
I love the idea
But
that
I had
you
forgotten,
were
and it rocked
actually
me.
congratulating him. That's the best part of it.
Well,
I actually don't think that's as bad if I was congratulating him. I think it's worse that I just tried to shake the man's hand in the middle of nowhere. Although I was trying to wrap it up, It didn't wrap it up, and then I had to stand there for what seemed like an age, like screaming internally in my head.
How much longer does the conversation go on, Tobler, do you think?
Yeah, no.
2 or 3 minutes?
No, it goes on. It goes on.
Oh, my God.
I remember standing there, and then like 2 or 3 minutes later going, fucking, I just shook his hand out of nowhere. And we kept talking.
Someone said here in the comments, was Tom trying to impose that he too wouldn't tap and felt that a mid-conversation handshake would give off the vibe that he definitely wouldn't tap and Volk would understand that?
Oh, that's subconscious Freudian shit.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to let him know, bro, I wouldn't tap either. Except I completely would tap. In fact, I would probably be dead. Is there any other good ones in there? I was reading through them, but I can't remember them all. I was, again, cringing to death.
Tom Birmingham of Keeping It Cool fame. Someone's just said, this is a tough watch. Another one's going, Tom of I'm not sure what to do with my hands fame.
Dude,
with
that was
the
exactly
Ricky
how
Bobby
I felt
gif.
after I did it. It was like, oh, Christ.
Yeah, Tommy B takes reaching out literally. The triangle of awkwardness. Yeah.
Triangle of awkwardness.
Hover hand vibes.
It was awkward for me anyway.
Other people just going, the more I watch, the worse it gets.
Yeah. All right. Fuck these cunts.
But go to the punters and dribblers to read the comments because there's a lot
go
in
to
there.
punters and dribblers to read the comments.
125 comments, fucking funny.
You know you're in trouble as well when I first went to it and I was trying to see what everyone was saying, but like a lot of the comments were like, bro, the comments. And you're like, dude, I must be getting fucking pumped in here. And then I was.
Bro, the comments.
You're like, oh, shit.
When you read that, you know that you're in
you're in some
trouble.
hot curry.
Yeah.
So go to punters and dribblers, but that will also... This will be on the Instagram to some degree, but it's certainly paired perfectly with me claiming to be playing it cool on the Dirty Merger podcast yesterday.
Paired lovely. Paired fantastically.
Listen, everyone has a bad handshake story. Kempy had his where he tried to bro down Matty Johns. I'm sure yours is either coming or it's already out there. But this is mine.
It's probably coming, right?
I think it's probably coming.
With someone really big and important and powerful.
Yep.
We'll see. Hopefully
will
not,
see.
but, isn't that... these things come in threes?
Yeah, exactly. You just never know when your moment will come, so be ready. But that was horrible. That was one of those fuck it moments. What can you do? Shout out to Volk. Did you hear Gus Gould come out when they were talking about Flanagan being put in? And, like, they're going, it's fucking unfair and like we were saying. Gus came out and said that he was the one that made the decision on Flanagan not playing and playing.
Yeah, did you read Kent's article on the weekend in the paper, in the Telegraph?
No.
He basically was like, I'm the one that went to Trent and said Kyle's not available because he's in reserve grade because he needs to get his confidence back.
Yeah.
And then he reckons that Trent asked him if he could have Kyle for this weekend and he agreed because he said that he was ready now because of the decisions he just made around his development and shit. Very interesting stuff. Basically the rhetoric that like fucking Kent's coming up with is like, mate.
Gould's Barrett's dad.
Yeah, he's his dad, bro.
Dude, Gus is Trent's
dad. Like, Trent has a dad, and it's Gus.
Well, he might have two dads because Gus is, if he's got like a biological father.
He's got two dads.
Gus now trumps that and is the out and out dad.
Well, he's got a dad, but he's got a daddy.
Yeah, he's daddy. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Gus is Trent's daddy in a big way.
Big way. Like, shut up, bro, and do what you're fucking told. That's the
Daddy,
vibe.
can I have Kyle Flanagan, please? Shut the fuck up. He's unavailable. Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy, can I have Kyle Flanagan? All right, yeah, he's good now.
And then, like...
and then to come out and say it, though, that's real daddy shit. Even if you're a daddy behind closed doors, Gus came out and maybe said it on his podcast. I don't listen to I love Gus's podcast. I wish James Bracey was still there. But he came out and was like, yeah, no, I told him it was all right. He came and asked me. And you're like, oh, now you're going public with your daddy?
No. He's really public with his daddy. And Kenny was like, mate, fucking poor old Trent, like the alarm bells would be ringing here because he goes, well, I've seen what you've done to coaches in the past. Now you're my daddy. I've got to ask you for like players and shit.
Yeah, dude.
You know what I mean?
Please, daddy, can I have some
daddy,
more?
can I have some fucking milk, daddy? Like he was saying that generally speaking, general managers look after the roster and the long-term goals and shit, as opposed to
being a daddy.
as opposed to literally controlling the roster specifically, being like, this player in the roster is not available this week and this player is. Like,
Yeah, is he doing it for all the players? Or
I
is he
don't
just doing
know.
it- How much of a how much of a daddy is he?
I think he's a sugar daddy.
Well, see, I feel like the power dynamic slightly shifts with a sugar daddy. Where a sugar daddy wants to chong, and so he buys handbags so that he can get like a blowy every once in a while. Whereas this is like a daddy, where it's like, I think Trent's kink is being dominated by a daddy, and Gus's kink is dominating. As opposed to like, I'll buy you a handbag. Gus likes to tell you what you can and can't do.
Right.
You know what? I don't even know if this is Trent's kink. He might have found himself in a kink party he didn't want to be at.
Well, I think that's probably what's happened. I think he's been invited to a party. He thought it was like a fun soiree.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Keys in the bowl. Maybe I get to chong someone.
maybe keys. Yeah, sure.
Or maybe he just thought it was like a dinner.
I think he thought it was a dinner, and then I think he starts seeing keys go in the bowl, and then the keys he gets is Gus's, and then next
get him
minute
and Gus.
Gus is walking him downstairs into the basement into a fucking
kink den.
into a kink den.
About to-
Swings and whips and ball gags and anal beads
and like
shit.
pictures of the players in his team, and he's just taking them off. Nah, you can't pick him, and then whipping him over the back. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah. Trent's tied up right now.
Trent's in deep shit, dude.
And from all reports, Gus has no plans of coming out of that den for
No,
at
this
least
is like
the
a
season.
BDSM fucking nightmare for Trent, whereas Gus is like, he's frothing it.
He's foaming at the mouth,
Yeah.
mate. He's loving every second. He's taking his time, Tom.
Oh, yeah, no, he's taking his time. BDSM Bulldogs.
The BDSM Bulldogs. Now, I feel for Trent because he's in this situation, and he'd also be aware that, like, you know, Gus likes to pick and choose and fuck people off if necessary. Fucked off Ivan Cleary.
Fucked off Griffin.
No, but then hires Griffin. Then Griffin gets
fucks
him to
off Griffin. Fourth.
on the ladder. Fourth on the ladder. Think about that. Fourth. Fucks him off because he doesn't think they can win a comp. Then when the board wants to bring Ivan back, he quits because he's like, fuck that.
And then Ivan comes
I don't
back.
agree with that. And then
If
Ivan comes
you're-
back and wins a comp.
If you're Trent right now, ball gag in mouth, strung up in a basement in Gus Gould's palatial Penrith mansion,
Yeah.
where the fuck he lives.
With, you know,
and
with 8 or
you're-
9 fucking beads in the bum.
Yeah, exactly, with 9 of 10 anal beads lodged
within.
deep in your ass. And you're one from 5.
Yeah.
And you're thinking there, like, Hook was sacked and he was fourth.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't be comfortable.
Couldn't
Even
be.
if you liked anal beads, you couldn't be comfortable.
Yeah, even if you loved them.
Even if you loved anal beads.
Even if you were begging for the 10th.
Yeah, even if you're fucking begging for that 10th. There's no way you can feel comfortable when you know Hook was sacked in 4th place. How do you feel comfortable?
You couldn't. You can't.
couldn't.
You can't. You can't. It's just not possible.
No.
So shout out to the Bulldogs.
Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Shout out to Trent. Hope you're all right, bro.
Yeah, and shout out to that 10th anal bead just waiting. Patiently waiting to get just biding its time. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. That's good, honest rugby league.
Shout out to KO.
Shout out. Shout out to KO. You and I played some golf. Was it Friday last week? Is that when I saw you?
We did.
Played some golf, got around, because as some of you may know, we are taking on Scope and Simi this Thursday in an Ambrose tournament where we're going to pound them into the earth.
Where are we playing?
Moore Park,
Okay.
nice and central.
We had a
Easy
great.
access.
We had a good round with your old man.
Yep,
He was
Papa
making me
Burns.
laugh.
Well, he was also way better than us,
Yeah.
which
Well, he used to fucking play off 9.
I know.
Like, what do you mean?
But I just mean, like, you get old, you think you're going to... Obviously, he's not playing off 9, but, like...
But you can see in the way he hits the ball, you go, oh, that guy's been off 9.
Yeah, he's been off 9.
In a past life.
That one of his last shots where he hit it over those trees to land it, like, right next to the fucking flag. I was like,
But he called it before.
Yeah, he called it as well. I was like, this arsey bastard.
So watch me go over these trees, and he did.
Yeah, it was impressive.
And it just stopped.
Yeah.
Dead.
Now-
Maybe a foot from the hole.
It was you and I were practicing. I think we played okay. We had moments of brilliance, and we had plenty of moments that you would not categorise as brilliant.
Well, you'd class it as a couple of blokes who sort of hack about. You know what I mean?
I will say this, and I'm sorry to do it to you publicly, but my old man was right up in your ass about your club choice and your clubs generally. He's of the belief, and I share it. I share it with him that your clubs are too small.
Club.
Well, the club that you use every single fucking shot, which is your hybrid, is way too small.
Wasn't working for me with the hybrid the other day.
Not at all. Like, not working.
And I
for him
usually
at
hit
all.
it. It's usually my number one club in the bag, thus me returning to the
But
well
it's
many
too
times.
small.
I understand that, Tom, but you're not listening. You're refusing to hear what I'm saying. I'm saying I usually hit it so sweetly.
Right.
Thus, I kept returning to it.
And at some point, my old man was literally like, "Can you just promise me that you won't use it for the next hole and you just use a different club?" And then he was like making him use Dad's hybrid, and then he was crunching it, and then we were like, "You have to put that fucking club away now, because it's just not working for you." And then he basically that was when you actually started playing well, your second wind, when you fucked that club off. Now the concern for me is Dave, Tobler, punters and dribblers en masse. Edward, you specifically, is that when we take on Scope and Simi, I can't have you persevering with that piece of shit all day. You need to be able to...
You need to look.
You give it a go, but if it's not working for you, you put that thing away. I'll snap it otherwise.
We look. I don't know where the aggression's coming from. Because you're not exactly fucking Tiger Woods yourself, bro.
Right, but I certainly wasn't persevering with those clubs. Like that one club was particularly bad.
But
I'm closer to Tiger Woods as well, let's be honest.
There's a couple of positives to come out of the day, Tom.
Yep.
Is that I did have a second win of note.
Yep.
My back is feeling free. I don't know what's happened, but it's come good over the weekend.
You're peaking at the right time.
Now I just need to maintain it.
Yep.
Because I was getting quite concerned the other day that if this...
As the day went on, shout out to East Lakes, the longest golf course in the known world.
Look, I would like to make a public service announcement, a PSA to the punter and the dribbler. Play East Lakes, but only if you have a card.
Yep.
If you don't, you're looking at 35 Ks.
Yeah,
on foot,
how many Ks? I was thinking that.
No, I reckon 35.
There were some par fives where it was like, I think that's the flag on the horizon. I'm not sure though.
But not even that. It's undulating. But even more than that, the distance between holes 1 and 2 on foot, no bullshit, 2 Ks. Not even joking. Took us fucking 45 minutes to get there.
Yeah, we had like a full weather system emerge.
Your old man barely made it.
I know, to hole 2. We were like, where is he? Where's he gone? He's almost 70. And I mean, good for him to get out there and have a walk. But by the 18th hole, we were all tired. I was looking at him. I'm like, are you going to make it, bro? He's like, fuck off. I'm fine. I'm like, well, okay. But I just want to check in on you because this has been a long day for us all. East Lake's the longest fucking course on earth.
I'm not playing on Thursday unless we have cards.
Well, we'll put that we'll send that to old Scope and just be like, hey, bro, part of our rider is that we need cards.
I'm too
Rider's
old,
a
bro.
muso term, sorry.
I'm too old for walking 18. I can walk 9.
Yeah.
18's too far.
We can do it. I think you can't just hop out of bed anymore and walk 18. You know what I mean? Like, you need to sort of condition yourself, which is why it was probably better that we did East Lakes last week, because now Moore Park will be a piece of piss if we have to walk it. But I assume that part of the YKTR budget is that they're going to get us cards.
I would be shocked if we don't have cards.
I'd be appalled.
I would be disgusted.
Appalled. Now, if they can't, then we'll have to buy our own carts because truthfully, I don't think I can walk 18 again. It was really tough.
It was, dude, it was awful.
By the end of it as well,
It was
when you're
awful.
back, I kept asking him, I'm like, hey, like, does your back right? Like, no, it's fine. And I could tell he was being like stoic. No, it's okay, mate. Just a bit tight. And I'm like, are you in pain?
I wasn't in pain, but have you heard the saying stiff as a board?
Yeah.
So I wasn't in pain, but I was uncomfortable because I was stiff. I was walking around like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Rigor mortis in the back.
Like if you were to walk around with your knees locked.
Yes.
You know that? If you would just walk around like that, that's what it felt like.
No ability to bend the knees.
Yes. If you woke up one day and all ability to bend your knees had left you, that was my back after walking 18 on Friday.
Now, I
went home and I had a stiff tequila. The stiffest, just to free me up.
did it free you up?
Yeah, it helped.
Oh, good.
Freed up the mind.
Yeah, that's what you want. we all did. We all had an experience on the course. And I mean, I haven't even spoken to my old man to see if he's comfortable with us telling this. I think I'm just going to tell it anyway because I don't think he did anything wrong.
I think you have to.
Yeah.
It was definitely
the highlight of the day.
It's one of my highlights on a golf
course. Yeah, same. So we were walking, everyone else was on carts. It was huge. And
also, just to pad this yarn a little bit, I went into the pro shop and said, "Can I have a cart?" And he said, "No, there are no carts. They're all out on the course." And then when we started playing, every group that went through us had a cart. I'm like, "Oh, they're all in the cart. Oh, they're all in the fucking course, are they?"
Yeah.
They're already out there, are they?
We were literally
fuck off, mate.
So we're walking because there's no carts available, and by maybe the third hole, we already had people up our ass with carts. So we was like, fuck it. Like we didn't care. We were having a very lazy day. I was like, yeah, play through, all good. We were about the sixth hole. Some fellas came up behind us, let them play through. Then as they were finishing, another cart group came through. We're like, fuck it, you guys play through as well. Then we teed up to hit our shots, and then like two 20-year-olds sort of quite quickly sort of hoon up and skid up alongside us as we're playing our shots, and just to sort of sitting there like that, whatever. There was nothing to suspect that what was about to unfold was going to unfold. We were hitting off the men's, Eddie?
The Blues,
The Blues. And, we hit some shots. Were they great? Some of them were, they weren't fantastic. Doesn't matter. As then we're getting ready to walk off to go find our balls, this guy who's parked next to us then speeds straight up to the ladies' tees, like in front of us, screeches on the brake and jumps out and starts teeing up. And we're like, what the fuck? That's weird. We keep walking. And as we're walking past, he goes, "Oi, I'm about to hit my shot." And we're like, huh? He's like, "I'm hitting my shot." And Dad goes, "Why'd you be doing that?" And he goes, "Because you pushed in front of us." And he goes, "I beg your pardon?" And my old man...
originally he said, "It's my turn."
"Oh, yeah, it's my turn. It's my turn." "No, it's not." And he's like, "Yeah, it is." And he's like, "How is it your turn?" And he's like, "Well, you pushed in front of us." And Dad's like, "Pushed in front?" My old man, day to day, relatively calm, but like, you don't want to be coming at him with any bullshit. You know what I mean? And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "You guys pushed in front of us." He goes, "No, we fucking didn't." And he's like, "Well, I haven't seen your faces." And he goes, "You ever heard of letting people play through before, you fucking idiot?" And he's like, and then this kid just starts coming back at him with lip, and Dad's going, "We've let people play through, and now you wait for us to get through and have a shot." And this kid's being a fucking smart ass to Dad. Like, me and Eddie are like, "Oh, fuck, this guy's an idiot." And then at this stage, another cart has pulled up as well. So they're watching this thing unfold. And Dad's up in his face fucking like going at him. And then he's trying to go back at Dad. And then realizing that he is an idiot, this kid, because he's wrong. And starts going, well, I'm sorry then, but fucking did it. And Dad's like, "You fucking ever heard of any like etiquette on the golf course, you little shit?" And then walks up like, yeah, you cocky little shit or something. And then walks up onto the tee box where the guy's ball's mounted on a tee and just boots his ball into the bush. And then walks off, giving him like shaking his finger at him, "You fucking dickhead." And we're just pushing our trolleys like, holy
Oh my God.
And this kid was
Learn
just
some fucking
learn some-
etiquette, you little shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, it was good.
And this kid was just a prick from the jump for no reason. And we were like,
But by the end of it, he's going, I'm sorry.
yeah, I'm sorry.
As he got absolutely fucking eviscerated by
Absolutely,
Burmese.
like you would never have seen a public evisceration.
I've never
It
seen
was so
anyone
good.
get.
His mate stood there and didn't say a single word.
No one said a
No
word.
one said a word. And then the group behind us were watching and they didn't say a single word. It was like, well, this guy's in the wrong here and he's just getting torched, like absolutely torched.
His whole narrative.
Bravado, but his whole swagger just like drained from his body.
It was the most brutal undressing I've ever seen in my life, bro.
And then what was funny was Dad started referring to him as because then we had to play with this guy up our ass for the rest of the day because we were like, fuck it, you best believe we're not letting you play through, you little prick. And then Dad started referring to him as his nemesis, and it was breaking Dad's spirit every time his nemesis would see him hit a bad shot. So like for the rest of the day, Dad's like, fuck. my
In front of my nemesis.
In front of my nemesis. As he's like slicing balls and shit. And like it actually, he was killing it. And then he had like this period after the run-in with his nemesis where he started playing fucking awfully. And it was like him trying to come to terms with this nemesis in his head.
Yeah.
What about when his putts just fell off a cliff?
Oh,
His putting fell off a cliff and we're standing there talking shit to him and he's like, you fucking bastard.
it was good stuff. It was so. Shout out to that lippy little.
Shout
prick
out to the lippy little nemesis.
Who I don't know if he would have slept that night. Fuck, it was brutal.
Like,
what
I
he
don't
did.
know how you play the rest of the round.
He never
with
got,
your
he-
mate.
He never got close again, did he?
He got close enough. There was one time where he'd stand and sort of watch and we were just like, we almost made a point of taking our time. But how do you go on playing the rest of the round with your mate who's just seen you get absolutely beated?
And then he was basically almost like bowing at the end. Like,
So-
sorry, like, it was
Sorry.
it was really beat as shit and it was so good.
And just for the rest of the round, we just, like, one of us would just start chuckling and go, fuck, that was a dressing down. Like, oh, that was good.
It was special.
It was
It was
pure.
so special. It was pure.
Pure as the driven snow. And then you sent me a message later on that day going, fuck, that was good.
I couldn't get over it. I was in tears on the way home laughing.
And then we
about
got
it.
home. We got back to my place, Dad, and I'm like retelling the story to Steph and Steph's mum, and then Evie's listening, and then Evie's going like, "You get angry at boy," and Dad's now having to like, doesn't want like the little baby Evie to get too much of an idea about how much he ripped him apart. He's like, "Yeah, Daddy, Popsy just told him off. And then he behaved," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's sort of how it went. That's sort of how it went." Popsy.
He did behave.
Popsy torched a man.
Yeah, and the man behaved.
And the man behaved. But that was great. And that was probably the highlight of the golf, honestly.
Well, yeah, I think so. We got a birdie. Oh, we missed the putt.
No, we didn't get a birdie. We had a shot at it. We had a look at a birdie, and the birdie flew away.
It did. The birdie flew away.
But I've got something to admit, Eddie.
You do.
Yep. Only because it reminded me that I have something to admit more than anything else. When I was 13, 14,
Yep.
I did a breakdancing class.
You took one.
Yeah. Well, I took a couple.
Yeah.
That's it. That's me telling you.
Well, that's not enough information.
Well, I
Because
can.
if you share a little bit, I'll share a little bit.
I had a couple of mates. T-Mad, Paddy, I think Seb maybe. I think
Seb? Fucking hell.
I don't remember. Seb might not be a part of it, but I think he might have been. And a couple of weeks, organised by T-Mad, which should surprise no one.
It doesn't surprise me, no.
And we went down to this place in Barrel, and similar to Steph, we were learning a breakdance routine, and you'd come back every week and you'd add strings to the bow, as it were. And look, it's one of those things that's stuck with me as for a long time.
Can you give me a little bit?
No, I can't really, but there was, it was a long time ago, but there was a lot of bow, bow, do, 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 do. And then because I'm not good.
Did you have to wear baggy pants?
No, but you tried to dress cool,
And what would that involve? Would that involve baggy pants?
No, well, I'm just trying to think about what I was into at that
Flat
age.
hat, surely.
No, I wasn't really a flat hat. Oh, I was, but
What
probably
about an
not.
SMP belt?
That was more high school SMP belt.
You
shit.
said 14.
Sorry, primary school. SMP belt, more primary school.
They go, well, maybe we got them late in Dubbo. It's not surprising.
No, it's not surprising. Yeah, but that for me, SMP belts were more like when I was
It might
year
have been
4,
year
5,
six,
6.
Right.
Yeah. But in terms of the attire, I don't remember it wasn't like I was rocking up in bandanas and shit. Mainly because I didn't have one. I think if I'd had a bandana,
Did anyone wear a bandana?
No, it was more. But it was still a thing to be
Seb
cool.
reeks of bandana.
Sebo probably would have tried to pull off the bandana. That was when he had one of the great heads of hair all time. Poor old Sebo. But I will ask now for you to share.
Oh, I was in the year 6 dance group.
What the
All
fuck?
boys.
All boys dance crew.
Yeah. Yeah. Fucking oath.
Did you have a name, or was it just
No, it was there was a dance group at school and we were in it. Sometimes at school, right, it's mostly all girls, but then there'll be a couple of boys potentially in it. There was enough boys at ours to have it all boys. And we'd go to a Stedfords and shit. We'd go to we went to Dubbo, Orange,
Oh shit, dude!
Yeah.
So you put on shows?
Well, you know what a Stedfords are?
No.
A Stedfords are fuck. How would I explain it? A Stedford? They're basically
this is great.
dance, singing, choir,
Okay,
all this
performance.
shit.
It's like a showcase. It says
Showcase.
a competitive festival of music and poetry and art.
So there's
But
there's
you're competing.
in the school section, yes. So
Against other schools who are dancing.
from around the area.
And it's not like one big talent show where everyone plays for one prize. There's music and different
Yeah,
schools.
yeah,
It goes
yeah,
over
musicians.
a week
Yeah.
or weeks. So for example, my
Holy
sister used to dance for after school. So then there's a Stedford sections for dance generally. Then there's the school dance and shit.
Okay.
If you get really good, you can go to Sydney for the Stedford.
Come down to the Big Smoke.
Go down to the Big Smoke. So we cruise around the state.
The regional circuit.
I think we definitely did Dubbo. We definitely did Orange. We might have done one more.
And what sort of songs were we dancing to?
I can't remember mine. I can remember my brother's because he was in it as well.
Kern did it as well?
Are you gonna be my girl? Dun, 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 dun,
and then what you're
and I remember that
Can
was
you remember some moves?
I honestly,
You got a move in you. You can remember a move.
I can't remember a move. I can remember that halfway through the song, this guy, I think his name was Josh, maybe, he came into the middle, right? And we'd sort of go to the sides and probably be clapping him and shit. And he would start break dancing.
Oh,
and that was
the finishing move.
That was the finishing move. And the
crescendo.
The crescendo of the piece. And I remember, I'm pretty sure when we were going to Orange, he wasn't allowed to come because he's a naughty boy and he was fucking up. And we were like, what are we going to do?
What are we going to do? We don't have Josh. Now, how did you feel as a dancer at that point? Because you can move all right.
I move all right, yeah.
You can move all right.
I move okay.
You can hold your own on the dance
Yeah,
floor.
I move okay. I move all right. I don't move the best.
No,
of anyone
you
I
aren't.
know.
You don't.
Max Downs moves the best.
Does he?
He sets the standard. He's the guy on a
Okay,
dance
is he
floor.
the
But I
guy?
go all right. I go okay. It was pretty. You gel your hair, wear a white shirt, and sunnies and shit. My brother actually had. We had the DVD version of his, and we used to watch it all the time.
Do you
and,
still have it?
It'd be kicking around somewhere.
We've got some of those of Steph when she was not an only child, but she had her older brother's a fair bit older.
Yeah.
So she was essentially an only child in that sense. And there are some videos of her getting around from her mum. Steph would be going to these dance shows and then she'd get home, but still in her dance fucking gear and putting as much effort into her living room dance routine as she would be if she was dancing fucking, for her life. And it's so it's cute and it's sad and it's just this little kid, ha, 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 attention. But the dancing junior dancing videos. I'm glad there's no one that fucking filmed me. How is there no video footage of you, or did you burn it?
I don't think we bought it. I don't think we purchased it, something like that. Like, there definitely wasn't ever a video. I'd be honest about it. And if there was, I'd dig it up because it'd be great content.
It would be phenomenal content.
I'm 99% sure there isn't one. But, look, mother, if you're listening, which you probably are, you can confirm or deny that. But we jagged a couple of participation awards.
Okay, so you didn't win anything.
We didn't win shit. Well, because we were up against the girls.
Oh, okay. So you were competing against dancing.
Like, all boys dance troupes were pretty rare.
Yeah.
Which should surprise no one.
Were you... was it something you were like pushed into, or was it something that you were like, this is what the cool kids do at Dubbo South Primary?
From memory, our teacher, I had a mate that did it in year 5. I didn't do it. He did year 5, year 6. So he's a bit of a veteran by the time we got to year 6.
Okay, so he's like the sort of kid who made firsts when he was 14.
But my year 6 teacher, Miss Farrell, shout out to you, she was great, and she was the dance instructor. So I think there was probably an element of like...
Wait, she was your teacher and the dance instructor?
Yeah, so she was probably like, why don't you...
recruited you?
Yeah, I think I was recruited.
Groomed you for dancing?
Groomed me to dance. But...
Did you get nerves before you up there? Or was it like you love the bright lights?
Dude, if you get up into the bright lights of the Dubbo Civic Centre, fucking Wednesday at 10 a.m, like, that's nerves, bro.
So there's a bit of dancing on this show.
There's dance in us, Tom.
There's dance in us,
which should surprise no one.
No.
Tom classically trained in the sacred art of break dancing, and I've got the all boys male troupe.
Yeah, but also you've got like real
I've got
world,
routine in me.
But you've got real world performance experience as well. I don't have performance experience.
I've got awards,
and that's probably why I'm like. I mean, I think that with me, when it comes to me dancing, let's say like on a wedding dance floor. I can have a night where I don't miss, and that doesn't mean that I'm impressive. It doesn't mean that someone's going, look at him having it, but I can come home on reflection and go, I had a pretty good night on the tiles on the dance floor.
Yeah.
But then I can have some nights where it's like
it's just not coming together.
Nothing's coming together.
Yeah,
it's a really off night, and I probably end up not doing much dancing as a result because I'm just not feeling it. You know.
How often do you try new moves?
Very rarely. I think you
go tried and tested.
I think you got to know what you can do, and it's pretty generic. But sometimes you feel like the generic works because I think it's also about like, are you dancing by yourself? Are you dancing with someone? What sort of music have I got to work with? Like,
I like a tip for young players is if you want to move well, you got to get the hips going. You gotta get the hips.
You gotta have your hips involved.
If you're too top heavy, too torso based, it's gonna look like shit.
Well, you're a statue from the bloody shoulders down.
You gotta once you're moving down here, the rest plays too.
Yeah.
If you leave that fucking alone, if you're not paying your hips any attention at all, you're fucked.
Yeah.
It's like hitting a golf ball, bruh. Swing with the hips.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Shout out to Tom Arkins. He needs to be hit with a rhythm stick. He's got the worst rhythm all time. And off the back of it, one of the worst dances all time.
Yeah.
And he'd admit that.
He'd have to. You know, I can see that from him being an awful dancer and having no rhythm. Like, I can see that as being...
He's coordinated as fuck, like a weapon athlete, but zero rhythm.
Yeah.
Zero.
I think a lot of it's like a confidence thing as well. If you are,
but it's also like he doesn't register, the beat doesn't.
Well, there's that. There's a reality to understanding. I tell you who can fucking dance. My brother. My brother.
Will can dance. Will can dance.
And he can you can do dances.
No, Will's hot.
He's fucking. We didn't know that he had it in him, and then just one night when he was like 19, and we were all having a drink, I think at Mum's house. And he just started lighting up the kitchen with this dancing, and we were like, what the fuck is this, Will? He's like, I don't know, just been doing it. Just never seen it before. And I'm like, it immediately made me feel less than because I want to be able to dance. And I just am there trying to just hold my own. And then now I've got Will, who is like fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. There is something like primal about dancing in that you don't often do it. And where it's sort of like it sits it's sort of weird. It's not part of your day to day. So when you're doing it, it's sort of like it's a bit different, but everyone loves it.
Not everyone loves it, but I know
if you don't love it, but if you don't love it, it's because
you can't do it.
Well, either you can't do it or you're way too insecure.
Yes,
but like it's enjoyable.
It's fun.
It's fun to do it.
Move your body.
Like if you had a couple of beers and something comes on, a song you like
I wonder
try to not move.
Yeah, I wonder what the sort of like evolutionary thing from dancing is, because it obviously comes from when we're all tribes based.
But it lives deep within. Like
that's what I mean.
Children, bro.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Well, dude, Evie loves to dance.
That's what I mean.
She
bro.
loves to dance. Cold Cold Heart by Dua Lipa. Shout out to you. But yes, she does. But obviously, she's learning that off mum and dad. But like, what is the?
Do you? But or is it in them?
Yeah, I don't know. Because I mean, it's not like she just goes one day, I'm going to dance. Like there's certainly
there's certain songs that'll come on and you're like, you can't ignore your body and your urges.
Dude, your body
your body just wants to fucking move.
Your body wants what it wants.
Your body wants what it wants, mate. Like if Hound Dog comes on by Elvis Presley and your hips don't start moving, dude, like
you're dead. You're probably dead.
You're probably not with us anymore.
No.
That's when you know that you're on your way to the fucking pearly gates.
Yes. R.I.P. Because the Hound Dog will get you moving. Or even a Twist and Shout.
Twist and shout. And twist and shout.
Is that the Beatles? It is the Beatles, isn't it?
Yeah. Fucking oath. Beatles get you moving. Elvis gets you moving. MJ gets you moving.
Yeah. MJ gets you moving. Dude.
Bruh. No one fucking moved like that cunt.
No. And the problem with MJ songs, though, I think, is that they get you moving so much everyone thinks they're MJ and no one is, and you can't move like him. And so there's sort of something, there's an inherent problem there for me.
There is, but there's also... He's got your... Smooth Criminal comes on or something, like, fucking good luck to you if you aren't up and about.
Billie Jean?
Oh, bruh. Don't stop till you get enough. Come on. Like... I understand what you're saying. Everyone thinks they're MJ, but I sort of like that.
That's also kind of good.
It's sort of cool how everyone's like trying to fucking be someone that no one can be. Like
there is a problem. I do have a problem with people.
Moonwalking's
people who think they can dance better than they can, and they dance with the confidence of someone who can dance better than they can. You know what I mean? So someone who's on there, and it's like, because it's all well and good to be on the dance floor and be having a good time and moving, but there are people who are feeling themselves way too much, and you're like, you can't actually dance that well, but you're like,
right,
trying to moonwalk.
They're going, they're going a little over the top. Sometimes you got to stay in your own lane.
Well, you just got to know. You got to know
where the line
who
is.
you are and what you are, and what your actual capabilities are,
and how and what that what that looks like. Well, how that looks visually
with the optics.
Yeah, what are the optics like? What are the optics like? I mean, if we can use a Seinfeld reference. Little kicks when Elaine starts dancing and everyone's like...
That's right.
You don't want to be Elaine in this situation.
And think that you've got some ball-and-ass move that it's kind of all you got.
If you think you've got a showstopper and it's not, put it away. And I tell you how you know if you've got a showstopper. People will tell you.
If you have a showstopper, the show stops.
People will tell you.
If you don't have a showstopper, you're going to give it a couple of cracks and it won't do anything and then you need to stop it.
People will literally say to you... Fuck me, you move well, bro.
That's a showstopper right there.
Like you will get told. And if you don't get feedback on these new fucking out there moves you're dropping, put them away. Put them away.
Yep. Now, I have no issue either with moves that aren't showstoppers, but you're slowly trying to maybe you've seen it somewhere and you're trying to slip it into your repertoire.
That's fine.
Where you go, this is just a simple move to potentially give me a little bit more diversity.
That's absolutely fine. We're talking more about like moonwalks and shit. You know what I mean?
Yes. Like Streety. Streety used to love to get in the middle of a dance floor and clear it and start breakdancing when we were coming up.
Of course he did. And he'd go to the worm.
Go to the worm, but he'd always do the reverse worm. I think if you can't do the front worm, don't worm. That's my opinion. Because the reverse worm isn't a worm. In my opinion. Now, that's coming from a guy who used to be able to do the worm properly. Now, difficult. I'm heavy.
Well, you're heavier.
The ground will shake.
And your arms are... And your core's gone.
It's not so much about the arms. It's more core. But if you reverse worm fuck off, in my opinion. And that's just a respect. I really fully respect you, but like, it's not the worm if it's a reverse.
Worms can travel both forwards and backwards, according to the science.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm just saying that the worm is a forwards move.
Well, if it can be. Well,
Listen, if you could worm forward, you wouldn't worm backward. That's what I think. If you can do the worm forward, you won't do it backward. Now, Scotty Too Hottie, I believe he is no longer with us, RIP, from wrestling. He was the one who I think made the worm famous personally, and he was a worm forward guy. I think that it's easier to worm backwards. It's a confidence thing as well, and if you're worming backwards, you're basically a cuck. And that's most people.
fair enough. Strong opinions, and I hear you. Shout out to
You come in
Street.
for strong opinions.
Shout out to Street and Carly. Just had a kid.
Yes.
Proud of you.
Yes. Street
Great
and
stuff.
Coo. Congratulations.
Fucking oath.
Little baby Rose.
Little
Cute as a
Rosie.
button.
Oh, cute as a button, little Rosie.
Cute as a button.
Now, to round out dancing,
Mm.
just go out there this weekend, punters and dribblers, and fucking give it your all.
Yep.
That's all I ask. And if you are lacking a bit of confidence on the dance floor, hear me. Have a couple of beers, have a couple of tequilas.
Couple of marks.
Go out there and just think hips first.
Release the hips.
Release your hips. Hips first. If you
Yeah.
hips first, you're going to walk off that dance floor and put your head on the pillow that night going, I have made such inroads that I'm now a different person.
Yeah.
And your whole life will change.
Yeah. Hips first.
Hips first, bro. It's pathetic, our election cycles. They're so pathetic that they're almost entertaining in their own weird way.
There needs to be an alternative.
It's like watching a car crash. You can't look away.
the
Yes,
dribbler.
it's like
Yeah.
that. You're like, bro, there needs to be well, that's the point. There needs to be an alternative. There needs to be a party that stands up
That
for the
stands up.
rights
Yeah.
and interests of the people, Tom. Someone that cares.
that can unite dribblers
And punters.
and punters and people that aren't punters or dribblers.
But people that identify as a punter or a dribbler, or that want to be, or look at the ideals that the punter and the dribbler hold close and identify with them.
And go, you know what? I wasn't, but maybe now I am.
Yes.
A Dribbler United party.
Something like that. Like a party that is policy.
It's people first and policy first.
It's policy and people and panache.
Yeah. Policy, people, panache. The Dribbler United party.
The 3 Ps.
Policy, people, panache. The Dribbler United party. Vote 1, Tom and Eddie. Independence.
Yeah, of course.
Codependence.
Well, codependence.
Codependent members.
Yeah.
For, what am I?
Wentworth.
And you are...
Warringah.
There you go. 2 big fucking catchment areas.
Sure. Big catchment areas.
Can we both
They
run?
both start with W.
Yeah. So the codependent members for Wentworth and Warringah.
Warringah, yeah.
The triple P for the 2 Ws.
Triple P for 2 Ws. That's it. Policy, people, panache. Or people, policy, panache, whatever.
Whatever. Well, it was just the 3 Ps.
It ends in
though.
panache.
Yes, it does end in panache. The codependent members for the Dribbler United party.
Yep. We will be running as codependents.
There you go. Sorry, we're running now.
Vote
Whoops.
1.
Yeah, now who's going to be shaking in their boots?
2GB.
2GB, we're coming for you. Jim Wilson.
ScoMo, Labor, the Greens, the fucking Reds, the Blues.
Yeah, the
The
Teals.
Yellows, the fucking, the Nationals who are also green. You know, there's Greens and Reds and Blues.
There's a lot. It's
What's that colour? Pink.
Are we pink? Or are we... Look, we don't know what our colour is, all right? Get off our...
We'll
we
have
don't- we're
Well, actually,
multicoloured,
maybe it's charcoal.
dude. Maybe it's charcoal. Maybe... Ooh, I don't mind charcoal.
I like charcoal. I like charcoal.
Charcoal could be good.
That's a nice colour.
Well, we're fucking charcoaled up to our eyeballs in here. Maybe it's charcoal.
Dribbler party. Triple Ps.
Dribbler United party. We're running.
On food, Tom.
Yeah.
On food.
Yeah.
It came to my attention yesterday, and by extension, your attention, that there was an article doing the rounds.
Oh my God. This is this is like there are little watermark moments, I think, in our journey together as punters and dribblers and podcasting. And this is possibly the greatest achievement in the history of the show.
In the history of the show, you might need me to speak up a little bit over there, buddy.
Sorry,
I can barely
mate.
hear you. You've diminished to a whisper.
It's like the final breaths. I'm just going to fall asleep on the mic.
Christopher Mushin, a dear friend, sent me an article in the Dubbo Times. It was also on the Daily Telegraph website. I think they're affiliated in some way. It was basically an article about the best eateries in Dubbo revealed. It's called Spoilt for Choice. Best eateries in Dubbo revealed, dailytelegraph.com.au.
Who's the journo? Shout out the journo.
The journo will be shouted out if my fucking phone decides to load. Eamon Berta.
Shout out to Eamon.
Now, 8 of the best cafes and restaurants and cafes in Dubbo. If you're looking for a fabulous venue for your next lunch or dinner date, look no further. We've done the hard work for you to discover Dubbo's best restaurants and cafes. Now, the first one, unsurprisingly, on the list is the Royal India Restobar, 29 Bolt Street, Dubbo. I've spoken at length about my love affair and my affinity for the best Indian, potentially,
Well, Dubbo first, world
Yeah.
second.
That's right. So I'm going to read it out to the punters and the dribblers. It's Dubbo's best restaurant, according to TripAdvisor and former Dubbo local turned popular sports podcaster Edward Simpson. It's fucking terrific, Mr. Simpson said on the Hello Sport podcast following his visit to Dubbo over the long weekend. It's just about appreciating phenomenal Indian when you can eat it. It is best in class. This place stacks up globally. I think that this Indian restaurant should be awarded some sort of global recognition because it is outstanding. In the spirit of celebrating Easter festivities, Mr. Simpson went on to claim the Restobar's cheesy naan bread was enough to bring Jesus back from the dead. Oh my God, bro.
Oh, fuck, that's so good. Oh, fuck. Stacks up globally. You've never eaten Indian outside of Australia.
Matt, I'm pretty sure I've only eaten Indian in Dubbo and Sydney.
Oh, fuck, that's so good. Oh, I'm going to die. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
Oh, dude.
It stacks up globally. Oh, fuck, that's
Mate.
good stuff.
Oh,
That is fucking good stuff.
shout out to Eamon.
Shout out to Eamon. You made my fucking day.
I was in tears yesterday over that. I'm in tears again.
Yeah, it's still funny.
It's tear-inducing.
Oh, that was a good laugh. That was good.
Mum, if you're listening, I reckon you fucking put that on the fridge.
Pin that up. Mama Sims, pin that up on the fridge.
Put it on the fridge, Ma. Put it on the fridge. Are you proud of your boy?
Proud of you, boy. just the fucking the quote at the start. It's fucking terrific. How ridiculous! How ridiculous! Someone reading this going, "Fuck, he loves that Indian joint."
People read that don't know me.
That's the most insane review of all time. He fucking loves that joint. Gotta try it out, mate. That fucking cheesy naan.
I'd say, fuck, I'll give you that tip. I reckon I'm half inclined to get a free feed there.
They could do worse and just start kicking you a few free cheesy naans, bro. After a review like that, holy shit. That was good gear.
Oh.
That was good gear.
And
Yeah,
what's funny about it as well, Tom, is I don't remember saying any of that.
dude. That's so true.
You know what I mean?
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
I must have talked about it, obviously, when we came back from Easter, but I don't remember that.
No, and I remember the
specifically-
name. I remember Restobar. That's right. That's the only thing that jogged my memory. So I was like,
Restobar.
Restobar, sorry, because it reminded me of Autobahn.
Right.
But, I mean, you know, again, just another high watermark in the history of the show. Will it be topped? I don't think so.
I don't know how.
I don't know how you top that. Unless that, I can't think of a way. I can't think of a way that gets topped. Bested. It was just fucking, it was too good.
Oh, bro.
It was too good.
That's special stuff.
Get to the Caxton and, the Caxton, get to Suncorp. And because Kempy's in a ghillie suit, the security comes straight over to him. They're like, excuse me, sir, come here. And like, we've just scanned our tickets through. And he's like, yeah. He's like, what are you wearing? He's like, oh, it's like a ghillie suit. Yeah, it's a joke. She's like, this chick immediately radios, like her superior's going, we've got a man in full army fatigues here. We've got a man in full army fatigues here. And he's like, yeah, it's a joke. It's Magic Round. Like, people dress up. Like, yeah, it's all good. Eventually she's like, listen, I'm going to let you go, but everyone's going to have their eyes on you. So one mistake and you're in, And he's like, okay, yeah, no worries. Like, being super respectful, obviously.
But also, you don't realise who's underneath this thing. Like,
no, he took his hat off,
but
but
I
she
mean,
still
like-
doesn't know who he is.
But I mean,
no.
like a guy who wouldn't hurt a fly.
No,
You know what I
but
mean?
yeah, but also whose like livelihood would rely on not being a dickhead at the footy. But as soon as she's like, okay, he then like steps 2 meters away from her and he gets mobbed by like 10 dudes who want a photo. So this chick's like seeing, she's like, okay, I've just held up someone who's clearly famous and I didn't know who the fuck they were, and he's clearly not about to act like an asshole in his get-up.
I can't believe his commitment to wear that to the footy, dude.
It was so good. It was
Did he
so
take
good.
his fucking? Did he pull his face back at all?
Only once we got up to the seats. So otherwise he was walking in a full ghillie suit too, and the whole way through. I also, shock horror, had no fucking idea where we were sitting. Even though I had the tickets on me, I didn't know.
But didn't you know when you bought them? It tells you.
I didn't pay any attention.
Of course you didn't. That's not your style.
It's not my style. I buy them, they're bought, I don't think about it. Then I go to scan and I go, oh, well, what gate are we? And it's like, but Campy, you can tell, is getting more and more pissed off with me because like, it's like, where are we sitting, bro? I'm in a fucking ghillie suit. I'm like, dude, I don't know. Here, look at it. And then I'm like, this is your town, bro. You tell me where we're sitting, which I think's slightly fair, if not fair at all. So we start following him, and then as we just keep getting higher and higher up the stadium, he's like, where the fuck have you bought these tickets for, bro? And I'm like, I don't know, Denon. I don't know where the tickets are. We are all the way up the very top, one row back from the back. One row back from the back, and it was hot as fuck.
Was it hot up there?
Dude, but it was hot generally in Queensland. Like, it is a muggy joint. I'm like, is that like as cold as Brisbane gets? I don't know. Like, will that ever do they get a winter properly? Do they wear jumpers in that town?
I don't know if
I was
they wear
wearing my
jumpers.
Manly 13 plus, and I was like, fuck, this is a commitment. It is hot.
It was
as
humid. It was
shit.
sticky as fuck. It was sticky.
It was
I don't
sticky.
know if it gets cold there.
I
Quite
don't know.
frankly, I don't care.
I don't care at all.
Don't
I don't care because I won't be back until next Magic Round, probably, respectfully.
Maybe in Origin.
Oh, actually, we'll be back for Origin. Anyway, we're up in the nosebleeds, and we took so long to get to find our seats that fucking Selwyn Cobbo had scored a try before I'd even sat down in my seat, and I was like, this is not giving me good energy right now. I feel trouble brewing. And as it turned out, Edward, trouble was brewing.
Oh, trouble brewed.
Trouble brewed, dude. So many people were like, "Oh, you doing the maths on this one, you fuckwit?" I'm like, I'm not doing the maths
What,
on
people
this
were
one.
yelling that at you?
Where are you doing the NRL maths on this one, you fuckwit? I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm not sure that I can.
But like, look, if you push a certain narrative down people's throats long enough, and the opposite happens,
Yeah.
you've left yourself open for a licking,
Dude.
and that's part of the game.
No,
dude.
you got to take
You
it,
got to
bruh.
be, if you want to lick, you got to be open to being licked.
Yeah. And there are some people out there that aren't. And you know what? That's on you and you're weak. But not me. I'm as strong as they come when it comes to licking. I was getting, and the Brilliant Beers boys would just happen to also have awful seats, and so they were sitting right near us as well. And I was just getting pounded from all angles. I had Broncos fans behind me, next to me, beside me, inside me. It just was like everywhere.
You know you're in you're in the thick of it when you got Broncos fans in you.
Inside you,
You know what I mean?
mid-game. We'll get to the specifics of Manly
We'll
and
get
that
to that
game later. The result is the result. The result is as the result was, Eddie. And I'm now preparing to exit the stadium where, probably 150,000 Broncos fans are also leaving at the same time. And I'm aware that I'm going to get licked, but I don't think there's any way that I could have prepared for what was coming, because it was beyond what I was expecting by some margin. So as we're walking back to the Caxton, stopping for photos of dribblers and stuff, which was fucking great. Firstly, shout out to everyone we met while we were up there. It was great. It was awesome to see you all. And that was really cool. Like, we'd never been pounded in the arse by dribblers like that before. Felt nice. But sort of stopping with people here or there, just between the ground and the Caxton. And then there was just this one guy who we stopped for a photo with, and he kept going to his mate, "Oi, turn the flash on. Turn the flash on." And his mate's like, "I don't know how to do that, bro. It's your phone." And the guy would not listen to his friend who was like, "I don't know how to turn your flash on." And he just kept standing there going, "Turn the fucking flash on." And I'm standing there going, "Bro, this is on you. You turn the fucking flash on, you idiot." But as like it was funny. As he's doing it, more people just start gathering and seeing, like, what the fuck's happening here? Like, because we're just sort of loud. And then people just start to realise that it's me. I think I'm still wearing my 13 plus jumper. I don't know. Then they all start, like, turning and abusing me in the video. "Fuck you, you fucking Manly 13 plus." And I'm like, Jesus Christ, here we go. Having a laugh with them all. And there's this one kid who's like, he's tiny, who just has sort of like self-appointed himself as like my bodyguard. And I'm like, I'm all good, bro. Like, it's fine. Everything's fine. But he'll start like going, "Oi, oi, oi," like telling people to get away from me and shit. I'm like, "Hey, bro, we're all good." I then, though, literally like get swarmed by dribblers, like it's a World War Z thing or something. Or I'm like a Marvel, or like, in The Matrix when Neo gets swarmed by agents and then he like has to blow them all off. It was kind of like that, but it was dribblers like, giving me noogies
Without the blow off.
Without the blow off.
You get noogies, dude. You get noogied.
Dude, you get noogied.
Oh my God,
Fuck
bro.
yeah. And I'm like,
Noogies? Holy shit.
yeah, bro.
Dude.
It was wild, but like just all over me. And then again, tiny security guard kid, like I'm fucking Kanye West trying to get from my car to a hotel. He's like, "Come with me, mate. Come with me." And like, if you can't see it, you got to go to YouTube. Like putting his hand over my head and like trying to clear a path for me forward. And I'm like, "Get off me, bro. What are you doing?" And he goes, "I'll get us into the Caxton." Even though the Brilliant Beers boys are like, run that joint, and I knew that they would be fine. Like, I'd be able to get in with them. This guy's like, "Come with me, I'll get you in." And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And he gets me to the front of the line at the Caxton, and he goes up to the security guard and goes, "Oi, this is it's Tom from Hello Sport." And the guy goes, "Who?" I'm like, this fucking
Of course
kid.
he said who.
Of course he said who, dude. Of course he said who. And I was like, Jesus Christ, kid. Like, where's Darcy and Klutz? Where are the Brilliant Beers boys? This is absolutely ridiculous. But anyway, once I got through that little channel of like, World War Z level of like dribbler mania, it was then just all sweet. But it was like, it was that so funny. They're like, "Take your fucking licks. Take your fucking licks." And I was like, I got to take him here. I've got to take him.
Mate, the thought of you going through that solo is fucking funny.
That's what I kept doing, going, this Eddie, this piece of shit's just left me here taking grenades, dude. Taking grenades. Eddie, I had another run-in with that fucking cleaner.
Dude, you and the cleaner, bro.
Well, listen, I think that he obviously sees me as the daddy of the office and he feels like he can just come to me with all of his gripes. Now, I've never encountered...
Did he come to you with a gripe or was...
No, dude,
was it a run-in?
I say g'day to him every time I see him, even despite the fact that I think he's a fuckwit.
Does he say hello back to you?
Yes. But it's like through gritted teeth, through a clenched asshole.
He does not vibe you.
No.
I saw him having a lovely interaction with someone else earlier.
Yeah, dude, he's friendly with everyone. Yeah, he doesn't like us. He certainly doesn't like me. I think he just...
The jury's out on me.
Well, because you're too much of a pussy to ever do anything to stick up for
literally
us
never,
as a company,
I literally
as a
never...
brand. Yeah, because you always send me out there because I've got like really broad shoulders and I'm thick.
The only time you've been, you've been sent out is when you had to move your own car.
Well, I didn't have to. We were parked in.
Yeah.
And I had to take the stand.
That's the only run-in you've had.
But I'm taking a stand for the company there. How many times have you parked someone in? You don't. You go, I'll go park my car over here, Tom. You go and park them in and you go and fucking... And that's fine. I'm prepared to take a stand. Maybe it's because I'm a little bit more of a grumpy cunt sometimes. I don't know. Or you're a pussy. I make up your own minds, punters, dribblers. Either way, I always say g'day to him because I don't want to have any bad... You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to have issues with... people in your goddamn building. But I'll tell you, since we've been here, we've had people take our park, we've had someone break in, we've had fucking to change the locks. The bathroom doesn't have toilet paper.
The roof's leaking.
Huh? The roof's leaking. Bathroom doesn't have toilet paper. It doesn't have any soap in there, so we have to provide our own shitter paper and our own soap for what is a communal bathroom in this fucking place. Now, that adds as a nice segue to, I was out the front and I was throwing some things in the trash, and I see him there doing some cleaning. And I go, g'day, mate, how you doing? And I chuck some shit in the bin. And then he just gets up and looks at me and goes, hey, buddy. And I'm like, yeah? Mate, you can't be leaving your beard shavings all through that bathroom, okay? It's a communal bathroom. It's not your bathroom. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Why would you think that I would shave my beard at work, sir? That seems pretty ridiculous. And don't you think that maybe a nicer or more like cordial approach, collaborative approach to this situation would be if you just ask me if I shave my beard at work instead of just assuming that I do, rather than coming at me like this? Well, mate, this place has been empty for the last 3 years, and ever since you moved in, I go, I don't give a fuck, bro. We don't shave our beards at work.
It's a big assumption to suggest that we did it when he opened his conversation with communal.
Yeah, but then he goes, but it's your bathroom. No one else uses it. And I go, well then...
People use it all the time.
People must use it. Is it our bathroom? Is it the people's bathroom? Because clearly we aren't shaving our beards at work, dude. And I was like, I go, bro, there's fucking piss left on the seats. There's shit left in the bowl. There's no soap. There's no hand towels. We provide all that stuff. Why would we then go and make the place a dirty fucking nightmare? Like, I was like, why would we do that? Can you explain to me why you think we do that? And he just kept going, well, it never happened over 3 years. I go, well, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like,
yeah, but like, he says it hasn't happened for 3 years, but there's a for sale sign at the front, which implies someone else has moved into the building, right?
Correct.
There'd be fucking rentals all the fucking time. There'd be people moving in and out of this place all the fucking time. So yeah, dude, 3 years ago it may not have happened, and I can appreciate that, and that's
cool.
That's cool, dude. But it's happening now, right? And we told you we didn't do it. We know that there's a fuckload of people moving in and out of this place all the time. So maybe it was someone else, or maybe it was you.
Yeah, maybe it was you, dude. I don't know. Where do you shave your beard or your hair that's deserting you? Not a point, unfair, balding's fine. But it is deserting him. And he's also really muscular. I'm like, you're an oddly muscular cleaner. But
he likes wearing tight shirts.
He definitely does. Really tight shirts. He's a smaller gentleman, but he's very muscular. And he's oddly fucking confrontational. So I just keep going, and I'm just sort of...
I wonder if he trains like Muay Thai or fucking...
Well, I certainly will never try and take anyone on.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, he could fucking snap kick me to the head, and then I'm like unconscious out
He's got a bit of that about him, though, I think.
Yeah. Well, listen. So I just to start, I'm going, dude, like, I just don't know if you realise how unnecessary you're being or the way that you've approached the situation. I'm telling you we didn't do it, right? So that's the end of it. We don't shave our beards at work. I don't know how you operate. Maybe you do. We don't shave our beards at work. This isn't the place where we come to shave our beards. Shout out to Manscaped. It's not where we do it. Okay? So I don't care about your 3 years. We don't do it. And the way you approach this is extremely fucking unnecessary. And he goes, listen, man, do you want to have a conversation like a man or be a pussy? I just go, all right, bro, back to work. And I just walked inside and closed the door. I'm like, what do you want me to do? What do you want from me, bro?
Was he angling for a stink?
I don't think so, no. I don't think he was angling for a stink, but I'm like, I don't know how much more of that's
a Thursday that you remember. Getting in a punch on with a cleaner
at the front
of the office.
But I'm also like, in terms of approaching this conversation like a man, I don't know how much more you would need for me to do. Also, what does that mean? Does that mean punching on with you, or does that mean me standing here and like telling you you're fucking wrong?
I don't know. Maybe you attract this shit.
No, I just don't cop bullshit, dude.
Because it seems to happen to you a lot. Just as an observation.
No, I completely understand what you're saying.
Just as an observation. That's all I'm saying. And you could say you don't cop like a pussy, and that's sweet. And the stories that you've told me, I agree. They're pretty out there.
Yes.
Like the guy fucking still in the car park and then him accusing you of using the beard trim at work. I get you. But it does seem to... It does seem to happen around you.
The only way that I could explain... Like if you were to evaluate the way that thing went down, right? And how it got heated...
And you almost threw down?
No.
Outside the office?
No, yeah, outside the office with the cleaner while he had like a bottle of spray in his hand. He'd like
I wonder if he'd used it. Bang.
Distract me and then kick me in the nuts.
Fucking chlorine in the eyes, dude. You would have been blind.
I don't actually find myself in confrontational situations very often.
I think you do.
Yeah, I know, but I
think if there's like an average like confrontational meter, I think you find yourself...
I might be higher on the scale.
I think
That's probably fair.
Ella as well. She's higher on the scale.
I wonder whether it's about maybe the way you respond to. So like the only thing that maybe you could say about the way I did that was I was immediately offended at the way he spoke to me.
Yeah. Which then takes it in a different direction.
Where I just go, why the fuck?
See, I would have just gone, wasn't me, bruh. Wasn't us.
Yeah, wasn't us, bruh. Clean it.
And that's it. It wasn't us.
But to me, I'm like...
Whereas you get offended by the question itself.
I get offended by the way he's behaving towards me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why would you... Like, because I always think that I treat people with respect, right? And not respect as in like, respect, man. Respect. I'm not like The Rock who's like blood, sweat, respect, you know? Not that sort of respect.
Although you have got a respect tattoo on you.
I've got respect across my chest. It's just out of shot. It's got respect, and then just below it is... what is it? Sweet mustard or die. But I'm just like... I don't like when people are fucking unnecessarily rude to people or like disrespectful or like trying to put something on us. And I'm like, the whole time we've been here, we've been nothing but like cordial to everyone and trying to like do the right thing, trying to, you know, like, and we've just been met with like, I feel like if you just allow the shit to happen, you then become the person who can just be like stepped on. And you just kind of need to put your foot down and go like, I'm not having you talk to us like this. You can be polite and you can ask us, mate, are you guys trimming your beard next? This shit everywhere. And I go, oh, no, actually, we've been noticing it as well. And then you have the conversation from there. But if you just like treat people like, if you allow yourself to just be stepped on, and by no means in a physical sense, because I don't ever want to get to a physical fight with anyone. I'm a bitch.
But do you like, but I think that the tempo in which you go in with invites a response out of certain people potentially.
Yeah, or
as
at
opposed
least
to
I don't calm the situation.
You don't calm it.
I meet the tempo.
You meet the tempo, and sometimes raise the tempo, and now you've got a tempo off.
Now we're
in a person who also likes pushing tempo. Now we're ratcheting.
Now the tempo
and
starting to go up.
You can argue that you don't get walked over, and sure, I suppose that's true. But I also think that there's other ways
to skin a cat.
To skin a cat where you don't get walked on, but you also get what you want. It's horses for courses, ladies and gentlemen, punters and dribblers, and it's as simple as that. Like, Ella goes in fucking hard in the paint, dude, always. And she can't work out why I don't do the same. And I'm just like, listen, darling, my opinion is that the world, although great, is still chock-a-block full of fuckwits. There's fuckwits everywhere. And that's like, it is what it is. And I'd rather not let a fuckwit I don't know get under my skin Because you can't change. You can't. What?
Yeah,
you can't
just
teach an old dog new tricks, dude. Me fucking laying some old cunt out because he's fucking.
No, you would have
Because of how he behaved at the cafe, doesn't.
No. You would have definitely, particularly with this gentleman, you would have.
I like being like a bit of a smart ass more than like.
Yeah, which is what you would have
Tempoed
done.
up.
Yeah, I would probably, if it was the 1-2 punch, the Tom and Eddie, it wouldn't have been good cop, bad cop, but it would have been tempo raise, like fuck you from me, and then you just smart ass. But you know what, dude? I'm telling you, the way that fucker was being, the way that fucking piece of shit was being, you would have. I think you would have raised the tempo, but enjoyably so.
Yeah.
But I did come in and I had to do a couple laps around the office because I was fucking pissed off, and I just put the Beatles on.
You do. You do fume, bro. And now that I've seen,
you've seen the old boy.
Well, I've seen the old boy, and now I know that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Let me tell you, I think based on what I've seen, Tom, I think you've fucking mellowed a pinch. I don't know if Annabelle's more mellowed, but you've got.
Nah, to be honest, we all have fire in the belly.
He's fired up. I read an article the other day, just a tiny little shift
Seems like a
about
lifetime.
a practice that's happening. The article alluded to this going on in the Middle East, but it could be happening anywhere, where wealthy gentlemen are paying people to
Shit on glass?
Shit on glass.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Dave, gonna need you to get the name.
Yeah. Is that like a sexual thing?
I would imagine that they're
because-
laying there touching themselves
Yeah,
or getting
that's-
sucked off. Yeah.
That's nothing new. I don't know
No.
if it was Jimi Hendrix or like an old blues guitarist. Was it Hendrix? Tobler's nodding. But there's some old rock and roll story that like, yeah, on tour he used to lie under a glass table and get groupies to shit there.
Yeah.
So it's nothing
What
new.
the
Can you
fuck?
find out what the term is?
What's
Yeah.
the kink there?
I also, just a side note,
Because you're not actually getting shit on.
I'm not gonna.
It's suspended above
Yeah,
you.
no, it's a visual thing as much as anything else.
Urban Dictionary calls that a glass bottom boat.
A glass bottom boat.
I'm cool with that. I like that.
The article I read was throwing around crazy numbers that some of these guys are willing to pay to get glass bottom boated.
Yeah, is that in the Middle East?
Yes.
Yes, they're like big, like rich sheiks and
Sheiks
oil.
and shit. Yeah.
Because you'd probably be like executed if they found out you were doing weird shit like that in some of those
I'm
countries.
fucked if I know.
I think they're a law unto themselves at some point.
I think like
When
some
you're
of
that
those men
rich.
over there can do whatever the fuck they
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
dude. I think it's like play on.
Can you find?
I don't know
anything
how
that
much I need to
explains
get
what it
paid
is
to
that you
shit on
like
someone.
that you'd need to be paid?
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to be paid that much. Dude, if I'm doing
How much is not much?
Well, if I'm doing
to
this,
shit on a shake.
dude, if a shake
How much
wants
to shit on a shake?
well, not
Fair
shit,
dinkum.
a shit above a shake.
You know what I mean?
I mean, what's the going rate? What are they prepared to pay?
I think some of them get like fucking like 250,000. I think it was saying.
I reckon I
20,000,
would shit
yeah.
on a shake for 50 grand. Why wouldn't you?
Because, well, I mean, like, are you comfortable walking around knowing you shit on a shake for 50 grand? You know what I mean? Like, I understand what you're saying, but that's still in your mind.
You've still got
It's
the
still,
memories.
it's still the memories aren't erased.
Yeah, look, I
That's
do know
still
what you
part
mean.
of it's still part of your identity.
Yeah, it's part of who I am, and I'm going to have that conversation with my children at some point.
Well, I wouldn't be having it with your kids.
No, I mean, listen, 50 grand, it would depend the setting, but I don't know how much the setting's going to make a difference. I mean, I just need to, feel comfortable.
If you're ready,
What,
to
like
go,
what?
would
You
that
go in
help?
and shake hands? And
No. I just want to be able to walk in, know that I don't need to meet the shake, he doesn't need to meet me, and I just got
Yeah,
to
you don't want to make the shake.
just drop a dump on some glass and walk out. Is that it? Is that just a bing, bang, boom? Or do I need to hang around?
Well,
I don't
what
need
if,
to
what if
clean it up.
someone like came to you as you were entering the bathroom to do a poo anyway, and they were like, "Well, you could do it in there, or I could pay you 50,000 to do it over here
in
on
this
the
next
sheet."
room?
Yeah,
I'm probably doing it.
I feel
Give me
like
the
that's
cash up front.
convenient. Yeah.
Cash up front, 50 grand, if it's just next door. I tell you what else, I would like to walk into the room and the glass be the floor. I don't want to have to go into some weird thing
And
be
get
like
up onto a plate.
suspended like I'm a stripper.
Well, so the reality is that you probably walk in, there's a shake laying on the ground, you get up onto the platform.
That's what I don't want.
Yeah, well, I think that's probably what it is.
Well, I don't know if it is. Who knows?
Well, no, I don't know
It's a
either.
weird, and listen, I don't want to.
In the scenario I'm creating for you.
Yeah, well, okay. I also don't want to, I know that not all shakes into this sort of gear.
We're talking about the shakes that were mentioned in the article
Yes.
that like glass bottom boats.
Yes. So to you guys, 50 grand, but I do have some non-negotiables,
Caveats.
some caveats, and that is I don't want to be up on a stage. That's
I don't
it.
want people clapping.
I want cash up front. I'd like more than 50 if you can
Look,
rustle it up.
if there's 200 floating around, I'm yours.
What about would we go as package deal for 200?
I think we'd get more as a package deal.
I think we would as well. I'm just saying. What's our
I
base?
need to get paid more than 50 grand to fucking
Yeah, but I'm
shit
saying
next to you.
Well, I'm
on a
hoping
Shape.
that we could maybe just go one after the other as opposed to a duo.
Well, I thought it was like we hold, when you...
Oh, like hold it, like lean back. What do you do there as well? Because you're obviously going to wee at the same time.
Not always. Well...
Always. No human has shit without weeing, I don't think.
I don't know. Maybe there's like a little fucking ice cream container that you aim into. I don't know. I don't know how it works.
Or do you just piss all over the place?
You
as well?
probably do. And it's just dripping off the sides. Bring your Wish Wellingtons.
Oh, fuck. You and me butt ass naked in Wellingtons.
That's an image.
It's an image.
That's an image.
Oh, fuck. That'd be fun.
Oh, shout out to the Shakes.
Shout out to the Shakes and glass bottom boats. That's brilliant. Something to think about anyway. Something to think about. Now, if you are watching the YouTube, though, you'll see that we are in Melbourne Storm jerseys. And not just any Melbourne Storm jerseys, D or Dave's Melbourne Storm jerseys. And not just D or Dave's Melbourne Storm jerseys, but the literal smallest Melbourne Storm jerseys that have ever been in existence.
You're in an extra small, are you not?
I think this is a medium. Dave's in an extra small.
And he's drowning
he
in
is
it.
Swimming.
He was like, look how tight it is. He's like trying to fucking
Cut to
stretch
Dave
it
if
out.
You're not already on him, Tom.
Look at him. He's swimming in that extra small.
He went to, that is an extra small, and he's going, bro, it's so fucking tight. I'm like, Dave, you literally could, like, you're like 10 kilos too small for that fucking thing.
There's nothing tight about that extra small, Dave. And that's fine, bro. But we don't have lies on this podcast.
Now, why are we wearing them? Why are we wearing them? It's important to, and firstly,
We're not wearing them for fun.
We're not wearing them for fun. I can tell you, like, this is, if you can see, I've never felt more insecure about my body than whilst wearing this thing. I'm like a fucking sausage.
You are exploding out of that thing,
Exploding
dude.
out of this fucking thing.
You are...
It is so tight. I've kind of got to sit in a certain position just so I can breathe, which is not ideal for the podcast. But you know what? It's a bet.
But it's all about body positivity. And
Well,
I respect
exactly.
you for getting out there
And
and
just
owning your bod, bruh.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So this is a bet we lost with Melbourne Storm captain on the injured list, Christian Welsh of Not a Good Bloke fame. One of the worst blokes in rugby league.
Look, he's not a great bloke and he's annoying. Look, but at the end of the day, Tom, we hold up our end of the bargain. Unlike Christian, who
still
held
hasn't
up
taken
his.
us to an Origin game.
Still haven't taken us to an Origin game, bruh. And you might be like, oh, well, there hasn't been an opportunity. Dickhead, you should have smuggled us into Queensland.
Yeah. Found a way.
Pay your fucking debts, bruh.
Yeah.
If we don't get the best tickets to an Origin this year,
It should be Suncorp, dude.
I am going to be fucking ropeable.
Dude, it's got to be Game 3 Suncorp.
But we want all the trimmings. All the trimmings. Mum and dad's for dinner. Mum and dad's for lunch. Meet the fam.
Yeah, you got to take us out for dinner as well.
We want to get really like nuts deep in the fucking Queensland vibe up there. We want to be embraced and watch us win 3-0 in your shitty little stadium. That's what we want.
Yeah.
So, look, this is us honouring a bet. A bet's a bet. Manly were robbed. We'll get into it later. But we still turn up and
Now-
we put on little fucking tiny Dior
Yeah.
Dave disgusting jerseys.
We also owe him a case of beer because they beat us 13 plus, which is not ideal. He sent me some really fucking hipster bullshit beer
I
that he
saw
wants.
that. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's like, it's Queensland. I'm like, it looks like camel piss to
Yeah,
me,
it
bro.
does. And we won't name the brand. We'll just send it to you, but it's like some really boutique fucking, engine oil bullshit. But congratulations, Christian. We graciously and humbly accept defeat, you shit bloke. We love you.
We do love you,
We
bro.
do love you.
But, it's
A
not
bet's a
ideal.
bet. So anyway, we lost to the Storm. That's why we're in the jerseys. shout out to Christian Welsh, who is one of the great assholes in rugby league. One of the bad guys.
Well, he doesn't get rugby league.
Doesn't get it. He's a bad guy, and we're wearing Storm jerseys, Christian, and I look like a fucking, I don't know. I look like a balloon filled.
You look
with
like a bruised grape.
A bruised grape,
or a berry.
Like a grape that's maybe had like elastic bands wrapped around different parts of it, and so
It's like a grape that's fallen on hard times.
I'm an out of shape grape.
You're an out of shape grape. An out of shape grape. Because you're tasty, like you're nice to eat.
Yes.
Like I could sit down and gobble you up.
But grapes have a nice shape.
But
not me. I'm an out of shape grape.
But so it's like a grape that you're not necessarily going to buy when you go shopping. You're going to go, that grape looks
Or
bruised.
you're going to get me at a discounted rate from like the Harris farm. Like, oh, here's an like an avocado, but it's a weird shape.
Well,
that's insane that is even a thing.
Because people think there's something wrong with it.
I know, but isn't that fucking wild that like, oh, just because it doesn't look aesthetically like a big old fucking, like an eggplant that doesn't look like a dick. It's like, oh, I'm not getting that eggplant. It's like, well, you can get the shitty eggplants over here for like half price.
You'd be in the out of shape fruit section.
Yep.
Discounted. Where
out of shape
bruised, damaged, and out of shape fruit goes to be picked up at a discount.
Yep.
Doesn't mean you're not tasty. Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. Just means you're out of shape.
Yep. Always good to be around goers.
It's an old saying, Tom. Surround yourself with goers.
Surround yourself with goers. That is an old saying. Are we going right now? Well, there you go. What a way to start. Surround yourself with goers, and you too shall go. An old Hello Sports.
It's an old Hello
proverb.
Sport adage. It's a proverb. Old as time itself.
Dribbler's Proverb.
Dribbler's Proverbs is a fucking...
That's something we could
That's
do.
something.
We could do something with Dribbler Proverbs. You leave that as just fucking... You leave that on the P's and D's page, and I'm sure that they will provide all proverbs.
Send in your proverbs.
Send in your Dribbler's Proverbs.
That's ours.
Surround
Just kick things
yourself
off.
with goers, and you too shall go. There's actually... You know what? Before I hear about your weekend, because I know that you've had some life changes.
Yes.
I need to come to you as, my last resort, really. You've always spoken quite glowingly about your own skill set when it comes to like washing clothes, haven't you? You back yourself.
I know. I know a few tricks of the trade.
Don't start fucking underselling it now because you have
I know
spoken
some tricks of the trade.
very much. We can check the tapes. You've sucked your own cock about your ability to wash for years now.
Well, I'm just humble. I'm a humble guy.
Thursday or Friday, I think it was Thursday, Steph was making a vegetable curry, and it was delicious.
Yep.
I was tasked with, she had to go down and get some dill or something from the shops. Daddy had to just come in and stir it every once in a while.
Yep.
So it didn't stick to the pan, Eddie.
I'm with you.
So I've come in.
Don't want it burning.
Don't want it burning. I've given it a couple of stirs. When something's hot, though, like cauldron bubble, pop, 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 they're popping. I got a lot of curry onto some slacks of mine. Now, these are some staple pants of mine. They're my staple cream slacks.
They're slacks,
They're just pants, dude.
I'm just trying to get a sense for what they're made of.
Chino-y.
Yes, I'm with you.
Had them for like 4 years, and they've just held up. They just seem to be well made. Not like fucking some clothes where you get them and you get a hole in the crotch and it's just they're fucked.
Yep.
So I've got curry on my pants.
You got a curry issue.
Curry issue. Now, Steph's then put them in the wash.
Yep.
Steph's mum, well, they didn't come out. Steph's mum the next day came over, who's also a cleaning extraordinaire, and was like, I think these are fucked. And I'm like, what? She's the other person I told. She's like, nah, these things are fucked. So I'm like, well,
why doesn't she like what she saw? I wonder what it was. What? Have you got him? Did you bring him with you?
I brought him in. I brought him in.
He's brought him in.
I brought him in.
Give me a look.
Now, to the naked eye, you're not going to see it, punters and dribblers. But trust me, it's there. Edward, you will be able to see it. Just your cut and dry cream. Now, look, I don't want to.
They're slacks.
I don't want to fucking.
They're slacks.
Beat my dick, but they are Italian. Massimo Dutti. Bought him a few years ago.
Oh, Massimo Dutti. I know Massimo Dutti.
So just look. All
How do
up
I
and
know
down.
that? Because I bought a shirt from there in Milan.
There you
and
go,
it's
dude.
way
That's
too
right. Got him.
small.
I got him in Rome. Sorry. They're Rome.
Oh, hang on. Massimo Dutti is actually a Spanish brand.
Well, there you go, dude. But I got him in Rome. So.
Whatever. They sell them in Italy.
And first line in the Wikipedia article, Massimo Dutti is a Spanish low-end luxury clothing company.
Oh, it's low end. That's why I own a shirt. You reckon I'm
dude.
buying something fucking top end, bro? Reckon I'm
think-
spending $3,000
You
on a
think I
fucking
can
polo?
afford high-end Italian, really, but sort of Spanish
This
pants?
looks like, help me out.
Highlighter.
No, what it's in a lot of curries. You can put it in rice to change its colour.
Turmeric.
Turmeric. Is this turmeric?
I don't know, dude.
Is this a turmeric issue?
I don't know. I'm coming to you.
Look, hey, but what's done? Just thrown in the wash. That's it.
Put some shit on it.
What shit was put on there?
Like your nappy sandy sort of
Nappy
stuff.
sand? Was a toothbrush used to?
I don't know. This
To
is I'm
finesse?
bringing it to you, dude. This is now your job.
Do you reckon if I can get this out, am I king of the world?
You're king of the wash.
Yeah, king of the wash. I
Yeah.
can get this out.
If you can get it out, you're king
I'm
of the wash.
tasked with this now, punters
Yeah.
and dribblers. I've got to go deep within. Because we've got a fucking turmeric stain on our hands, punters and dribblers, and turmeric known to be a cunt.
Yeah.
Turmeric known to be a cunt.
Yeah.
Always has been, always will be. And this is turmeric if I ever seen it.
Yeah.
Leave it with me, bruh.
Yeah. I mean, I know that you're the man for the job, or at least you say you are.
I am.
So you're obviously gonna have to take people through your routine as well.
I'll do it. It may well be dyed, but we will try.
Don't put it in your tongue. Is he gonna fucking chew them up?
He's asleep.
Now
It does say that turmeric. It can leave behind permanent stains, which is why it's so effective as a clothing dye. So your other option there is just
See?
to cover
They
the
look-
whole thing in turmeric.
I've got a feeling like we'll see. But if it is turmeric, they may well be dyed.
you're just gonna dye the whole pants. You mean?
As in, let's see how we go. Maybe I'll dye them turmeric and then give them back to you and pretend like I got it out.
Stain's gone, even though your pants now look yellow.
Now, Thomas, I have
You
an
got something
apology to make.
I already know what it's gonna be.
I must apologise. I do. I've got to apologise. I've got to apologise. I've got to apologise. I've been the greatest fucking cleaner of all time. I've been the greatest cleaner of all time. I've done it.
Oh, he's done it.
Has he done it?
I've done the
done it.
impossible.
Has he
Have a
done
look
it?
at
He's
them.
done it. Wow.
Has he done it? I was not. Wow. 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 Hold on, punters, dribblers. Has he done it? Dude.
He's done it.
Holy shit, ladies and gentlemen, he's done it. He's done it.
Yeah.
Dude, Steph's mum's going to be fucking... Steph and Steph's mum. Can't wait to rub it in their face. I'm going to throw these things out. Bro, you fucking done it. Dude, he's the greatest cleaner of all time. You are in the presence of greatness.
It's now official.
Dude, we're in the presence of fucking greatness. You know what I mean? The kid
King
can
of the
wash.
wash.
King of the wash.
King of the wash.
Kid can wash.
Kid
King of
can
the
wash. King of the wash.
Wow, dude, I loved these pants. Cheap fucking Spanish pants.
They're back, baby. Spanish pants are back. Shout out to Mum who played a starring role.
Did she?
Well, she helped me. We workshopped it. You know what I mean?
Did ya?
We had to workshop this one.
Yeah. Well, this is like a master and apprentice, right? Like
That's
you're
right,
obviously
exactly
the
right.
protege, but you always lean on.
Well, sometimes you get on the blower of the master and you glean what you can. Because turmeric's a motherfucker.
Yeah.
And turmeric's stubborn as all get out. Turmeric, I shout it to turmeric, who was a worthy foe. Turmeric was a worthy foe.
Yeah, right,
And turmeric
Brought
brought
the
its
best out of you.
fucking brought the best out of me. It brought its A game. Turmeric had a red hot crack. And, I can't help but respect turmeric
Yeah.
for what it was, what it was able to achieve here,
Yeah.
over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, when you get down to brass tacks, punters and dribblers, when you're going up against the king of the clean,
King of the wash.
king of the wash, very rarely you're going to get a W.
I was expecting when you were saying bad news there, I was like, fuck, he couldn't do it. So that was a great trick of the eye, sleight of
was.
hand.
It was.
How long did it take? Now, because I know you filmed this, were you?
I did. I filmed some
Should
of
we?
it. I filmed all.
The
I filmed the moments.
yes.
I filmed the moments.
Yeah, well, that's all that matters.
I was prepared for its stubbornness. Know that. Should I explain it? I'll explain. Do you want me to explain the process?
Yeah, dude.
It required a pre-soak, a pre-wash, which is like the shit you spray on it, like a nappy sand style thing. And it just sort of it's bringing it up. It's
Okay,
bringing
it's
it
trying
up.
to rise.
You're rising it, right?
Getting it off the fabric if you can.
Getting it away from the fabric.
Yeah.
Because it's clinging to the fabric for dear life.
Right.
You want to get it up.
It's
up and
Stallone on
away.
the side of a cliff.
That's right. Then after 10 minutes, you get a little I had a toothbrush, and you just got to just give it up. You get.
Continue to lift.
Up you get. I need you to lift. I need you lifting here. I need you lifting here.
Right.
Then you get the Sarge targeted action. It's all in the video. You'll see it. Get it into a little fucking bowl and spin it up. A paste is what we need. And a paste is what I got. Now, I had some trouble early on with the consistency. I had to keep adding it in. I put in too much water, but that's all right. I got the paste going, and then you heap it on with a spoon and then like rub it in. Leave it overnight, Tom.
Oh, okay.
Came back in the morning and you'll like wipe off the thing and you can see where you're at. The turmeric had gone from yellow, you know, the colour of turmeric, punters and dribblers, to red. And I was like, okay, turmeric's here to fucking...
Turmeric.
That's when I knew I was up against a fucking worthy adversary. When it had gone, okay, look, I'll change colour on you then.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You think you fucking know what's going on.
Yeah, a red. And I'm like, you know, it's like red to a bull. I'm like, righto, bruh.
Oh,
And
yeah. You double down now,
I double
right?
down. Much like I've told you in the past, Thomas, and much like I've told the punter and the dribbler, if you are out of options, if you have nothing at your disposal, if you're fucking broke and poor and on your last penny and you can't buy cleaning equipment, just keep throwing it in the wash. You know what I mean? So like that, I go, well, we're going again then. I'm going again.
Yeah.
Repeated it, got home last night, wiped it off. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I go, okay, put them in the wash, rinse them out, dry them. Thanks for coming. It's all in a day's work. It's all in a day's work.
King of the wash.
2 day. It's a 2 day wrestle though.
Yeah, that's a tussle.
It's a 2 day tussle. 2 day tussle. It's you know when you got a stain on your hands, a 2 day tussle.
King of the wash, dude.
King of the wash. That's how you do it.
Fuck me, dude. That's great. Saved me pants because I was like, I don't know where I'm going to get some other ones of these. Like, you know, when you just got pants that work, you work with them and you talk about like size and shit, like they fit nice, everything's, you know what, I'm probably going to wear them on Saturday.
I'd love you to.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a nice nod to me.
Full circle.
Be a nice nod to
you.
me.
I'll wear them on Saturday.
That'd be great.
I think
I've earned that.
you've earned that. You've earned that.
Excellent.
Well, that's
so
impressive.
that's where you go. So a couple of punters and dribblers reaching out, being like, Mo, can I have a crack at the big time? Would they earn me a bag of green? Listen.
Would washing my pants earn you a baggy green?
Listen.
No, it wouldn't.
Listen. Who's the king of the wash?
There's only
Me or
one king
you?
of the wash here. There's only one king of the wash.
Is it me or is it you? Because it feels like it's me.
Certainly does feel like it's you.
So, away with you.
Long live the king.
Long live the king.
Could you two just not talk anymore?